You love podcasts, the stories, the laughs, the unexpected turns. But when this episode ends, the silence starts. Not anymore. Audiobooks.com turns that silence into your next great adventure. With over 450,000 titles, from bestsellers to hidden gems, your love for listening just found its new best friend. And because you already know the joy of audio, we're giving you 3 free audiobooks to start your journey. Imagine your favorite podcast, now with unlimited episodes. That's audiobooks.com. Keep the story going. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. Because for podcast lovers like you, the end of an episode is just the beginning. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
All right, so before we start today's podcast, I just got to give a big shout out to all the Patreon subscribers. And if you're interested in helping financially support the show, the best way is go to Big Truth. Well, actually go to patreon.com/Big Truth. And there's 4 different levels of patronage there. They all come with their own exclusive benefits and whatnot. But check it out over at patreon.com/Big Truth. Now, if you need motorcycle parts for your old Harley or your Japanese bike, you need to check out Old Bike Barn over at oldbikebarn.com. Instagram is simply at Old Bike Barn. They got whatever you need, whether it's a cafe racer, a stock bike, a chopper, any kind of custom, and whatever it is. But the most important thing to remember is they got that stuff for your old Japanese bike that a lot of other places don't have. So check them out, oldbikebarn.com. They also got their own line of like leather and leather goods and knives and whatnot under the White Knuckler brand. Oldbikebarn.com, Instagram at oldbikebarn. If you have any issues with sleep or anxiety or things like that, and you wanted to get into CBD oils and check that out, but you're not sure about where to go, and you don't want to go to get some bullshit at the bodega that came from fucking Turkmenistan or some bullshit place, you need to check out Crater Lake Clear over at craterlakeclear.com. All organic, only using the most highest processes and highest quality materials. craterlakeclear.com. Now, if you're in the same situation, but for your vet, you need to check out Vet CS. You know what I mean? Our brother fucking out in Colorado and his wife started the company alongside with a vet. You're looking at me kind of weird.
No, this is amazing.
Okay.
I'm so stoked about this because it's like it's amazing idea. Like, everybody offers this shit for people. It's like, well, your pets need this stuff too. Like I can't tell you how much it's helped.
Fuck yeah, dude.
My animals, you know what I mean? Like
and they got the Vet CS has it for dogs. They have special formulations for cats, and it's all based on the weight of the animal too, and different genetic markers. So you need to talk to them, and then even they're one of the only places that offer it for horses. I'm not equestrian in nature, so I don't know much about that, but they do. So you check them out.
Horses are high-strung assholes. They could probably use some CBD.
Yeah. You got a nervous Nelly dog, a little snippy dog, or a cat that's all wound up and stuff, or
a horse that keeps kicking the jockey every time he tries to get on it. Give us some CBD. Fuck
CBD. Yeah, check out vetcs.com for more information on that, or on Instagram simply at vetcs. Now, summer's here. It's hot as fuck. Maybe you need a tank top. Or some bullshit, you know what I mean? I don't know. Just kidding. Sorry, I was trying to unlock my phone but you need some shit. You know what I mean? You need some new clothes because your hamper's full. Everything you have is fucking sweaty and fucking gross and fucking it's sitting wet in your fucking laundry bag. So check out Omerta over at omertamia.com. Fucking most. The best and most fucking real fucking streetwear brand there is.
Oh, it's phenomenal,
you
dude.
Can attest to it. They're our brothers. They do shit in-house, and
everything's made in America,
organically grown. They're not some bullshit fucking company or some bullshit offshoot of like a bigger company. You know what I mean? That's all organic, homegrown. Fucking 100% legit streetwear. Check them out at omertamia.com or on Instagram at omertamia, or they got their own app in the App Store. So go check them out over there. And they're always running specials and doing rad shit. So check them out.
Snitches get stitches.
That's right. Now, if you happen to be in the unfortunate situation where you find yourself in a motorcycle accident, you need to check out Law Tigers over at lawtigers.com, or go to Instagram. Oh, no, sorry. I mean Facebook, and type in Law Tigers in your state so that you can get in touch with your local office, because
they're great.
They're going to be the ones that help you. Now, I always say this with the caveat is that's the only sponsor I hope you never need. But if you do happen to be in that situation, because there's so many fucking distracted drivers on the road texting and fucking jerking
awful.
off or whatever the fuck they're doing and not paying attention to the road. So many people get rear-ended now at stoplights and fucking bullshit, or just cut off because people aren't paying attention. They just go right in your lane or cut off in front of you. Check out Law Tigers if that fucking happens to you, because it's a motorcycle law firm for motorcycle accidents, and it was founded by riders for riders. If you need even more clothes, but maybe you're a little off kilter, like you're a little weird, you're into like occult shit. Dude, all the shit we were supposed to talk about on the podcast that we didn't, like fucking, like the Manson shit and the
nigga, hit that record button. What are we doing?
We're gonna keep it going. Midnight Operation Midnight
Midnight Climax.
Midnight Climax.
Yeah.
If you know what Midnight Climax is, then you need to check out Heavy over at heavy.bigcartel.com. My man Zach Doom's got a clothing company.
Yo, I've seen his shit. It's fucking dope as fuck.
It's dope as fuck, man. He's got it. You know what I mean? You like to play Black Sabbath records backwards and fucking look for weird shit, or REO Speedwagon records backwards, whatever.
Fucking play it forward. It's weird too.
Yeah, whatever you're into. You like look for secret meanings to Hotel California. You need to check out Heavy at heavy.bigcartel.com, or on Instagram at Heavy Clothing. Especially if you're into all that shit, but you're also into vans, like show vans, boogie vans, 70s vans, choppers, and cool custom shit like that. So check them out. Now, if you're into motorcycle riding and things like that, and building custom bikes, and it's just fucking so fucking ridiculous, dude. There's like no even hiding what you're doing over there.
What? It's vitamins.
Taking deep breaths. But yeah, if you're
Box
in all
breathing.
if you want more information about any aspect of motorcycle stuff, you need to go check out Chop Cult over at chopcult.com, the biggest information clearinghouse and online message board set up for the motorcycle world. And they also have two other cool things. They got an online swap meet where you can buy, sell, and trade parts, and also an online events page that has all kinds of motorcycle related events all across the world, all across different times. It's broken up by date and location, so it's wicked easy to navigate, and everything is absolutely free. So check them out at chopcult.com.
Can I talk about real quick about that online swap meet real quick?
Absolutely.
That's the dopest thing fucking ever, because when I had fucking nothing but Jap bikes.
Yeah.
Because all my shit was out of date, like RC51s, all that shit. It was all out of manufacture. The hardest thing to find was fucking parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you did find parts, you were getting priced. You know what I mean? You were getting shafted.
Yeah.
So I wish I had the forum to find like OEM parts from other private people, because it would have saved me so much money. It would have made it,
absolutely.
Because when you're buying from somebody who's just as enthusiastic about the bike you have, it's not about money. It's about just perpetuating that interest.
Absolutely.
And it's so wild that you know, why give your money to a corporation that's going to rip you off when you can give it to somebody else who's also enthusiastic, who you know that money's going to go to them building their bike and giving you that part that you need. Fuck
yeah, dude. You nailed it right on that. So check them out, chopcult.com, on Instagram and all social media, simply at chopcult. And if you need even more clothes or records, you need to check out Pitchfork. And I think we alluded to Warren and company.
Royce and LD, man.
Royce and LD earlier in the or during the show itself. So Pitchfork at pitchforkny.com, on Instagram at pitchforkny. They're the brand that all your favorite bands wear.
Yeah.
Right? For decades. Like, you see Slayer wearing Pitchfork shirts. You see everybody wearing Pitchfork shirts.
And what's dope is they're all limited runs. So you're not getting some fucking mass-produced bullshit.
No.
You're getting something that's like 1 of 50, 1 of 200.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's never getting produced again. So.
And when it's gone, if there's a design you like, you better jump on it, man, because when it's gone, it's gone. Once in a while, they'll bring something back. But it's years and years later, so you're going to be waiting, you know?
Yeah. So, you know what? Buy a dope T-shirt and build some fucking equity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Blackstone's bought all the houses. Buy a fucking T-shirt.
Buy a T-shirt, yeah. And, you know, And if you want to be a real piece of shit, wait for it to sell out and then sell it at a profit. You know what I mean? If you got to, that's what
Japan market's going fucking wild right now. So
fucking bananas, yeah. And not last but not least, but if you need a motorcycle built, if you need fucking service and repair, if you need some customization, check out my shop, Chophead, over at chophead.com. It's a full brick and mortar motorcycle shop. It's the lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle fucking brand. And we do have swag and shit you can buy online, and we got parts online, and we're going to be updating all the website and everything soon. But check us out at chophead.com. But even better, come by the shop, 13 County Road, East Freetown, Mass. It's a physical fucking address. You can walk into the showroom. We got a showroom. We got a parts counter. We got a big fucking workshop in the back. So check us out. Chophead.com, 13 County Road, East Freetown, Mass. 508-995-6764 is the number. And last but not least, check us out, bigtruthpodcast.com for more information about the podcast itself. Before we get in today, I got to reiterate, the most important thing you can do if you like this podcast and you don't want to financially support it is just like the podcast, subscribe the podcast, leave a review, leave a comment, share it with your friends, family, whoever you think might be interested in this. Let's spread the word so we can get this thing going and growing. All right.
And real quick, rate the podcast. A lot of people don't do that. It takes 2 seconds. Click 4 or 5 stars. You know what?
Whatever you like.
Whatever you like.
If you hate it, give it 1. I don't give a shit, but just rate it.
Rate it because it's going to help bolster it. It's going to help bring it up in the charts. It's going to help expose to other people. And again, you don't have to write a review. You don't have to write 5 fucking paragraphs.
No.
Just subscribe and fucking click 5 stars if you enjoy it, man. That's all you got to do. Rating it helps so much.
And if you're on YouTube, click the bell so you get notifications and everything. And do what you can, man. It's very, very limited return on investment. This is free.
Yeah.
So, all I ask in return is, get a little engaged with it, because it's cool. You know what I mean? I mean, it's cool. Like I appreciate you being engaged with it, But that's about it. Let's get into today's episode right now. Yes, once again, we have liftoff. I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of the Big Truth Podcast, and my pin's falling off and smashing into my head and doing this at the same time. I'm stoked to be here with my man Viking, my brother Viking, who you may know. He was on the Launchpad, the inaugural edition of the Launchpad episode, and my brother KO, also in the building, and my other brother Ty, who's off mic. It's about 1 a.m. on a balmy Saturday night, Sunday morning here in Freetown, Massachusetts. We're broadcasting live from Chopperhead Custom Cycles. We just left the Madeira Feast, which is also aka known as the Portuguese Feast or the Feast of the Blessed Sacrament in New Bedford, Mass, where we had, you guys had Madeira wine. I can't drink the wine.
Shit was fire.
I had, what did I drink? I drank just seltzer.
Bud Light seltzers.
Bud Light seltzers. like a
coupon wine.
Fucking.
It was on that coupon wine.
Yeah, man.
Basic bitch.
White girl wasted, motherfucker. Okay. And we had, as a true Boston form, KO had a bottle of Jameson on
Yes,
hand.
I did. Hell yeah.
And then, whatever that fucking thing was.
That sipper
the Devil's
of
Taint
fucking
or
Devil's River.
I had stole a nip of the Devil's River, I think it was called. Some really whacked out
100 proof raisin liqueur. That shit was awful.
It was like also you're gonna have the best bowel movement of your life tomorrow morning with the prune juice. The prune juice. What was it? It was prune schnapps mixed with whiskey, like cheap whiskey and prune schnapps mixed together. That's what the fucking Devil's River was, or whatever the fuck that was called.
Shit your pants.
It's going to keep you regular and keep away the DTs. That's it.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, I don't know, like these pins from Busky and everything are fucking dope, but I cannot for the life of me ever keep a back on it, and they always stab my head because I put them on my hat.
Well, I don't think they're meant for wearing headphones over them, so.
Yeah, well, that's it.
The pins on your hat's just a dumb move anyway. Put them on your vest.
Nah, those pins, I always lose those pins too.
They're dope as fuck, man.
And I hate to lose those pins.
I know,
Family pin, you hate to lose a family pin.
Yeah, because you can't. That can't fall into.
Some little squirrel gets his hands on that. And then
in a squirrel nest, they like shiny things, and they squirrel and ferret away.
Right.
Stick them in my vault. That's where all the patches. That's where all the fucking pins. That's where everything goes. Just.
So, if you were at the Portuguese Feast in New Bedford, Mass tonight, and you were anywhere near the old block, we were holding the old block down, which is right outside the fried Oreo stand.
Yeah, we had the FO block.
We're not fat at all.
That was a fried Oreo block over there. We're holding that down. The squad, black and blue squad was holding that down.
Absolutely.
Talking mad. That was that was when you invited me down and said, "Hey, come on down Saturday night. We got the Portuguese festival."
Yeah.
I'm thinking, we're going down to the Irish or the Italian American Heritage Club. There's going to be fucking 3 stalls and some people speaking Portuguese, serving sandwiches and Madeira wine.
Yeah.
There are 15,000 people.
Yeah,
Tilt-a-whirls, Ferris wheels.
It's Banana Town, yeah.
We saw the culture is crazy because we were bugging out. Like, I was just thinking of the kids. I was like, I saw kids, I think their family, I was locked up with their fathers. And then I saw like their sons were growing up. Like, so the culture of like black and Irish and Spanish and Irish, and now they're grown up. Yeah. So their babies are little boys, little men now. And they're walking around. It's wild to see it, man. And it's beautiful. It was cool. It was fun, man. We had a blast.
The wine was great. The food was phenomenal. That was a good fucking time.
Yeah, we gotta try and go back tomorrow and get the carne spit fucking meat skewers. I'll post a picture of that because I got a picture of you and KO. That's a really good picture of you and KO next to that. Like, so people don't know. Like, there's like this open fire pit with. I mean, how long was each one of those skewers? Like
2 meters, probably 6 feet.
Yeah, like 4 feet, right?
You're throwing me off of that meter shit, dude. I was gonna say 4 to 6 feet, and then you're like meters, and I'm like,
2 meters, 6 feet.
Okay, yeah, all right.
It's wild to let you after you get your fucking steak and peppers and onions and stuff, you get to carry around that fucking sword with you.
There was an amazing
some hood ass festival, like carrying that shit around, like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or somebody with that. You think I'll stuff the weird shit.
Yeah. And shout out to Ryan for being our tour guide because I hadn't been to that thing in like 15, 20 years. Like, so I was like, I don't know where the fuck we're going. I just know with the general vicinity of the 4-block radius at that.
Yeah, we could tell the truth. We know. We know.
The side note was they saw us walking up to the booth to get the fucking skewers. Like, nah, son, we're closed. We ain't giving you all motherfucking swords.
Yeah, you ain't getting swords.
Nah, come back tomorrow. We're not selling shit.
Yeah,
we had that like coupons. I was like, I got a $50 bill. Like, no, sorry, we're not selling nothing. You have no more steak and peppers for you guys. And
meanwhile, there's like 40 of them on the fucking pit, like and there's still like 200 people in line. Yeah,
we were on some like jack move shit. Like, oh, maybe jack these motherfuckers.
We just should have stole a skewer. Yeah, right. What are you going to do? What you gonna do? This is our steak and sword now, motherfucker.
Like that?
It was like 110 degrees outside. It was like 125 near the steak shop.
Yeah.
Near the skewers.
We were thoroughly medium rare.
Fuck yeah. But so shout out to that. You know what I mean? It was good. If you're ever in the area this time of year, New Bedford, Massachusetts, right next to Freetown.
The rest of the town's a shithole, but the fucking Portuguese festival's amazing.
Downtown's all right.
I got love for New Bedford. Coming from born in Brockton, so I got super love for New Bedford.
It's weird to hear someone from Brockton talk about love for New Bedford. When I was in high school, it was the Brockton New Bedford Wars.
Yeah, we had beef. A couple of people, had passed on through that beef, but no, it is what it is, man. I guess that's the streets talking.
Yeah,
but I got super love for New Bedford, man. Always. That shit's in my heart. My mom lived there for a long time. She's out in Florida now, but the Portuguese, tu és lindo. You know how we do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't. I honestly don't.
Viking's bugging out a little bit. Like, he's like, yo, KO. I thought, like he said, he thought it was going to be some like kind of simple, like hanging out, like old man stuff. It was like some wild, kind of like hood rat shit. But he loved it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Absolutely. But what's bizarre is that, we're talking about they didn't have it the last couple of years because of, COVID and whatnot. And then you know, I hadn't been to it for years before that, but it used to be fucking bananas. And that's why I was like, we were like, it was like towards the end, we were about to leave, and I was like, now let's just stay to the end, because that's when it gets when it jumps off. And it didn't, because I don't know, the world's a more mature place or something, or a softer place or whatever, but there's usually at least a few fights, a few gunshots, a few stabbings. Yeah. You know, there was, I don't know. There might have been.
As we were leaving, though, we saw like 20 cops running towards one spot.
Yeah. So there's something probably happened. Yeah.
I'm thinking everybody's been locked up for so long. Everybody's been dealing with so much bullshit, being cooped up with their own thoughts and mind, you know, their own thoughts and shit. It's, you know, you come out now and you have to weigh your options. It's like, do I want to be, you know, when you have freedom constantly, you take it for granted, you know, but when you're coming out of a lockdown, it's like, all right, do I want to be a dipshit and risk getting the freedom that I just gained taken away for another so many years? Or do I want to just go out and have fucking fun and let shit roll off my back? And maybe next year I'll come back and be a fucking jackass. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but this is the first year out, yo, let's go have a good time and not try to be a hard ass.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think the kids under 22 are thinking like that, though. I think that's the older. Yeah. The parents that might be wilding out usually.
I disagree. I really think, because I mean, can you imagine?
I think most people are thinking, all right, everything's on fucking camera now, and for one, and for two, I think the world's just softer. And but kids don't fight anymore; they shoot.
That's true,
but they don't fight.
But think of being a 20-year-old, and the formative years of 20 to 22 got taken away, because 20 is nothing. 21's the big year. No, as a kid, 21's the big year.
And if you missed
you get to drink
because everything was closed. Yeah.
And now 22, it's like, all right, now I get to go be 21 again because now the world's open. Do I really want to piss this away on some dumb shit, or do I want to go have fun and then maybe next year be the hard ass? I really think that we don't give those kids enough credit, because the shit they just went through, nobody else has been through. I mean, the last time we went through this shit was the Spanish flu in 1908 or 1928.
That's when I was born, 1908.
Right, yeah. Calm down, don't break a hip. Take some Metamucil and fucking have a bowel movement.
It was Irish Rose Devil's Whiskey or whatever the fuck that thing was. The prune juice, yeah.
The Devil River Raisin Liqueur.
Yeah.
But I think kids are now more aware, and it's like, all right, this is wild, because they see how their parents are reacting. They see how their community's reacting to being just shut the fuck down. And it's, you know, we're out there, we're on the corner, and you know, KO's giving his commentary and everything. But what I noticed a lot was a lot of kids giving each other love, not giving each other static.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was very impressed and very proud of New Bedford, because I grew up in New Bedford, and it was always wild.
Sure.
And it was always a bunch of idiots fucking acting a fool like all the time. And I'm not taking myself out of that equation. You know what I mean? Like, man, we were all there being fucking retards all the time. But I was impressed. I was like, wow, this is definitely a different climate, different world. You know what I mean? Than when we were younger.
I think this was a shock. I think this was like, yo, I think a whole bunch of people realized, oh, my day-to-day can get shut down real fucking quick.
I wonder, man. I would love to have taken a poll out of there. Like, you look like a jackass. What was your reason for not being a real jackass tonight? Yeah. Was it you worried about losing freedom? Was it you worried about, which does get tied into, like, everybody has a cell phone, everyone has a camera, there's cameras on every thing. Or is it just, or is it just because you're soft?
Right, well, yeah.
Which one was it?
But I mean, think you're going to be...
And beers being $6 or 6 tickets now.
6 tickets, yeah.
You know, it's different than when we were young and it was like 25 cents for a beer. Now,
and we didn't have to go get a fucking ticket to go buy a beer.
That's the only complaint, man, is that you got to stand in line to get your wristband, and once you get your wristband, you got to stand in line to get your tickets so that you can buy beer and food. And then
while you stand in line to buy those beers and food.
Yeah.
So Portuguese Festival. Take heed to that.
Yeah.
If you can.
Sit down on the lines.
Can the Portuguese Festival next year be sponsored by Venmo, for fuck's sake?
Yeah. Maybe not so much Venmo.
Or just take cash. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Take the cash.
I think
tax free.
I think that's actually a smart move, because then you're not worried about cash going missing or being pilfered. It's all in the machine.
Sure.
the ticket for cash machine.
Yeah,
but
I hate the fucking machine though. The world is the machine, right?
Yeah,
we could go into that. I don't.
The world is a machine.
It is the machine. The machine of Venmo and shit like that. That motherfucker's hustling over Venmo. You go on the block and you're selling whatever you're selling, your product.
And that's why
you have a slide where you can take credit cards.
Yeah. But now the crazy thing is now like every transaction over $600 online is going to be monitored by the IRS. And
my weed dealer has a Square. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's a weed dealer. Like
I just tap my fucking credit card and I'm getting a quarter.
But it's legal, right?
It's legal most places.
Not in New York.
Not in New York, no.
Allegedly.
Well, is it decriminalized?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's.
I think that's going to be something we see in the next couple of years, where it definitely goes federally legal. Like,
I fucking hope so, man. For fuck's sake, we've been dicking around with this shit long enough. You know, just if it comes from the fucking ground, just make it fucking legal. Like we don't need. You don't. The fact that mushrooms, marijuana, are Schedule I drugs is just absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's just like you're gonna fucking regulate nature. Go fuck yourself.
I can't front on the weed shit. Like I do a lot of drugs, and I have done a lot of drugs.
Tonight,
that weed, tonight.
In the last 32 seconds.
But that weed, the fucking weed now is crazy, man. To smoke that shit. I don't know. Someone driving on that, that's. It's kind of crazy.
No, everything has a time and place. Should be done with a sense of responsibility and personal accountability to it.
Yeah.
Just like drinking, man. Like, I don't know. Plenty of people drinking.
My whole life, so I was like 13 years old, 12 years old, drinking behind the wheel, stolen cars, fucking whatever I did. It was all, and knock on wood, never got pinched for drinking and driving.
Allegedly,
I probably just cursed myself on this shit, but
allegedly,
there's no wood to.
I've seen like the motherfucker smoke a ton of grass and they're like spacing out. I'm like, oh, motherfucker on the highway. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just me being fucking cautious of my own shit, but it's wild. No, I respect the weed being legal. You know that the government's going to tax that no matter what. They're going to tax anything they get. If they want to get even the next drug, they make cocaine legal. They're going to get their money either way.
Make it all legal.
They're getting their money either way right now. They're getting their money either way right now.
Make it all legal. I mean, what? The only thing you're going to do with legal drugs is ensure people a supply chain.
But they don't want to make it legal. They need to lock us up.
Well, and I'm not getting, this isn't an ACAB moment, but I'm saying one of the biggest lobbies against decriminalization of drugs is like the law enforcement, like the prison and prison guard lobbies, because especially now in the age of privatized prisons, like private prisons, like they need to fill that shit up. Now that's a business, prison for profit. Like, and I think that's, whatever your political stance is, like, you got to see the fucking inherent nature of how horrible that is having a privatized prison. Like,
I read, so when I was in college, 15 years ago.
100 years ago.
100 years ago.
15,000 years.
15,000 years ago. In 23 BC,
when it was just you when I was in college. It's just you and that cluster of roots in Colorado.
It was me and a bunch of white aspen trees in Colorado in college. My teacher of criminal justice had me read an article. It was by this dude named Eric Schlosser. It was called The Prison Industrial Complex. And it was in the Atlantic. And it broke down privatized prisons.
Yeah.
And there are thriving cities in upstate New York that run solely on these privatized prisons. And if anybody has any interest in this shit, go read it. It's Eric Schlosser, Prison Industrial Complex, The Atlantic Monthly.
And that was all that time ago. It's probably progressed in insane amounts since the last 15 years.
I mean, you're literally, it breaks it down to the point where you realize that every bed that's filled is a dollar sign, and it's a dollar to the phone companies that allow these prisoners phone calls. It's a dollar to the prison guards. It's a dollar to the judges that convict. It's a dollar to the contractors who are making these fucking prisons. It's insane. It's It's really eye-opening because
that's the dollar that's going to get you over. That's going to get you in. That's the dollar that pays your admission.
That $1 that will get you through the night. That'll get you through.
That dollar will get you 3 to 7.
I'm so glad there's not a video component to this yet.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you made Ty turn the video camera off.
I wouldn't be involved. Yeah. But like I watched some like prison documentary shit. I watch this shit a lot, and they're saying I saw something like $60,000 a year for one convict.
Yeah,
for one prisoner. Like, come on, man.
It's over. It's over.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Massachusetts, we lock up so many people in this. You know, it's fucking unreal.
And the crazy thing is, right? If you're running a prison and it's a private prison, and you have to fill that prison up, would you rather fill it up with like kind of like
the soft?
So, I'm not saying like drug crimes where it's like someone, you know what I mean, or do you want like real fucking violent offenders?
Nah, they don't
want to
deal with that. You got to pay. I would think you got to pay them screws.
I want the
screws extra.
I want the white collar investment broker who got caught with a 1/4 ounce of weed instead of the fucking.
Well, that guy ain't going to that jail.
You lock that motherfucker up in a fucking tent,
as opposed to fucking Jorge down the corner moving weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, no. I'm gonna lock up fucking
or Mike the stabber. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the Mike that likes to be stabby. Like you're gonna definitely want the dude that got busted for weed. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna fill those beds, you're gonna find any excuse to fill those beds. And so like any little thing that might get overlooked in some towns is gonna get fucking brought in because you got to fill that fucking bed. Like.
Absolutely, because that empty bed
is costing money.
Is $20,000 you're not getting.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like I said, a documentary with that shit, and some kid from like I think South Central, some homeboy was out. He was like he went to Virginia and he got caught for 2 armed robberies. Like back in LA, it'd be like 7 to 10 years. He's doing life for that. Yeah. He's doing double life in Virginia, like to come so far from that, man. It's fucking wild, you know. I guess if you're doing crime out there, make sure before you go someplace you're gonna be sticking people up or hustling. Watch.
Look at the local. Check the local laws.
Check the local lockup laws.
Yeah.
There's your criminal tip for the day. Right. Find out what the crime is. Find out what the time is for the crime that you're about to commit in the state that you're at. You know what I mean? But you proceed accordingly. You at least be informed. You know.
No question.
You look at what's wild is you look at the privatized prison system, and it's a trickle down. It comes back in because what's happening is that money's coming down from the privatized prison, and it's coming down to local law enforcement saying, all right, well, the only way this town thrives is if we keep the prison full. So that's going to motivate local law enforcement to bust people for minor infractions to get them into that prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're
crazy. Yeah.
You're looking at if it was state run, where there's no monetary incentive, you get caught with a joint or a 1/4 ounce. All right, it's a misdemeanor. We're going to give you, I don't know, a 90-day probation,
like most
and a fine.
Yeah.
But now they have a monetary incentive. All right, well, guess what? We're going to lock you up for 90 days.
Yeah,
that bed's filled. We just made $10,000.
Yeah,
dope.
Yeah, in most cities you get caught with a 1/4 ounce or a little bit of grass, even a little bit of blow. Like major cities, most cops can be like, yo, keep it moving.
Yeah, no, we're just talking about like where there is privatized prisons. Now there's more of an incentive to put someone in over a dumb fucking thing.
Yeah, I guess they're almost forced or told, right, as police to do that.
And that gets to the whole fundamental thing. Like, there's a lot of fucking things I don't fuck with, like drugs that I don't fuck with at all. But like, if we are supposed to live in a free society, you should be free to make the choices you want to make or not want to make, but also be accountable for the choices you make and don't make. You know what I mean?
100%.
And like, I don't need government to be my fucking parent and tell me what to do and not what to do. Like,
listen,
you know what I mean?
Right. I know the consequences most places, and I'll deal with them. We'll always suffer our consequences,
That's right.
We know. But I'm still going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the thing. I forget who the fuck was it that said that laws aren't for the masses; they're for the lowest common denominator.
Yeah,
I mean, laws are there because you have a minority that's a dipshit. Yeah. I mean, most people are going to do drugs or alcohol responsibly, and not drive on them, or not operate heavy equipment. But you have to make the law to make it illegal because you have 5% of the population that are complete dipshits that they have to know it's illegal because that's the only way they're not going to do it. You know, Gary, the dump truck driver, is got a fucking 780 on his ACTs. He can't differentiate between his elbow and a fucking hole in the ground. So he may go do a whole bunch of blow and then try to fucking work his dump truck and run over a fucking family of 4. That's what that law is for. It's not for you or me who knows, hey, don't get behind the wheel of a dump truck when you're banged out on fucking Coke and vodka.
Right, stay home.
Yeah.
Call in that day.
Bang it in. You know, I got a cold.
Call in.
Yeah, I got a sore throat. I got this weird cough.
I'm about to open this ruby red Kolsch.
Yeah,
Tennessee specialty brought in.
Oh, God.
I like that. That's why I told you to put the headphones on, dude.
Jimmy, that goes out to you. That's like a Murphy's Law first.
Brought that down specially from upstate New York
Absolutely.
for you.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's good, too. Ruby
It's
red.
a summery type of beer.
Yeah, it's nice, light, and refreshing. That's all.
Look at the little guy on there, too.
It's the little dude. He's the dude.
He's holding 5
He's holding
beers,
a tray. He's got his pipe.
Yeah. I don't know what he's holding in his...
I'll post a picture on the...
What's he holding in his hand? A little random bag.
Yeah, it looks like a football.
We could turn anything you want. It could be a bag of whatever you want.
It's a whoopee cushion. Who fucking knows?
He's holding a whoopee cushion.
It could be a bag of nose marijuana. It could be a bag.
He's got a whoopee cushion and a fucking tray full of drinks.
He's got a pipe. He got his hat on. This guy's living
Look,
life.
just don't question Genesee. They're a whole different people up there.
I never will.
No.
I don't want to question him.
It's the hills have eyes.
They wanted to make sure they said it's brewed in the USA.
Yeah.
This guy has no eyes.
That's
though.
noted on the thing.
Straight out of Rochester.
He has no eyes.
No, he fucking did too much fucking nose marijuana.
Oh, he did.
All right. You got your free plug, Genesee.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
We'll send you the bill.
Just send 20 cases for the love of Christ.
Yeah, it's a wild time. I would love to see more prison reform, man. I would love to see.
It's weird because that was starting to get a little bit of traction some years ago, and then it's kind of, a bunch of bullshit happened in the world, and it's kind of lost a little bit of thing. But that doesn't mean it went away. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just quiet. You know what I mean? Now, but
yeah, I mean, there's motherfuckers in there. People, even our own family, our own brothers, man.
Yeah,
they're forgot about sometimes when it's wild in there, man. You get treated fucking very shitty in there, man. Most places very shitty, and no one sees that because you're behind the government. I'm not on some political shit, but man, that's fucked up.
No, but people are still sitting there over dumb shit charges.
Yeah.
Really, and it's expensive.
Well, that's why I think to round off how we even got to this was the whole conversation about legalizing marijuana on a federal level would require a release of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's money. So don't think that government ever has your interest at fucking heart. It's fucking money. You know what I mean? And it's and lobby and fucking and business. It's and laws aren't there. It's like you said, we got into it.
Yeah.
The most common denominator.
But I think what's helping now is you see that now that we're 5 years in from Colorado legalizing marijuana, and they now have created $1 billion every year in tax revenue for the state.
Yeah. Where so much they were getting, every citizen of the state was getting a rebate check. That didn't happen in Massachusetts when shit went legal.
I didn't see my marijuana rebate check in New York either.
Yeah. My taxes keep going the fuck up. They take more money and from different revenue streams and still fucking fuck you harder every year.
Man. I just watched a press conference against my better judgment with our fucking governor in New York, fucking batshit Kathy Hochul, and she's talking about how we're in a fucking budget crunch. It's like, you could do the same thing Colorado did. You could legalize marijuana. You could make $1 billion a year.
Her face is in a budget crunch.
Yeah, her fucking face should be in a fucking meat grinder.
It's the best. That's such a 2 a.m. fucking. Your face is in a budget crunch. It's 1:41 a.m.
Why aren't we? Why aren't we?
Your face is a budget crunch.
Why aren't we cutting my taxes with fucking marijuana money?
Well, because we live in states that are fucking super fucking greedy. Because even when New York, I guarantee you, when New York does legalize marijuana, you are not going to see a fucking rebate.
No, I know that.
Just like Massachusetts didn't see. And I don't know how much I would love to have. I don't want to come off the mouth uninformed here. I would love to see the tax revenue generated from marijuana in Massachusetts, and I want to see where that money went. You know what I mean? That's the problem, is that there's no more accountability in government. At the end of the day,
never was, though.
No, but the thing is, when it was smaller, it was easier to stay on top of. Now government's so fucking huge and massive. Like, you got the time to like look at where everything went. Like, and do they ask you ever where you want your money to go? No. Like, it's just like, oh, we're gonna do this, we'll do that, do that. You know,
they navigate for you now. They navigate,
yeah.
And most Americans rock with it.
Yeah, because we're too fucking. You work 7 days a week or 6 days a week. I work 6-7 days a week. You probably work 6-7 days a week. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't have time to look through the budgetary
who's got time? You know,
legislation.
And the problem is that there's no fucking lobby for the middle class or for the small business owner. And when they talk about small business, they need to fucking reform that shit, because small business means anything from a 1-person operation to 500 people. 500 people.
Now, 500 to me is a small business.
Yeah, it is.
To me, it's not like.
Oh no, to me it's not either. Yeah, that's not a fucking small business. 500 motherfuckers. That's a lot of people.
That's a fucking conglomerate.
That's multi-million dollars. Like, if you ain't feeding 500 people unless you're generating millions and millions of dollars.
And it's so crazy. That numbers is crazy. 1 to 500.
Yeah. That's like 1 to 50. And 50 is even a lot.
50 is a lot.
Well, think about it. If a livable wage nowadays is median 55,000.
Yeah.
50 people at 55,000.
I'm not sure 55,000 in Massachusetts. 55,000. To me, that's almost
that's you got to live in Western Mass. Like, you ain't living in Boston on 55 grand. Unless you're grandfathered in on some
and I agree.
Housing.
But we have to go by what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're going by what the government actually thinks is livable wage, look at our fucking minimum wage. It's $7.25 an hour. Still the federal minimum wage. Nobody's living on $7.25 an hour.
Yeah.
And I think it's in Massachusetts.
I don't think any job is not in Massachusetts. There's no job paying that. Like,
no, but I'm saying the federal,
Wendy's is paying 15.
The federal requirement is $7.25. Like, they think somehow $7.25 is a federal requirement. Is acceptable.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't buy a soda. Like, a 2 liter of soda is fucking $3.
Yeah, you can buy 2 of those for an hour of work. Fuck off.
I know.
But like, for instance, I make really good money. I make a livable wage doing what I do. My wife works in the financial sector, and after taxes, she's making $35,000 a year. That's fucking wild. Like, there's no outside of like dirt poor middle America, like Nebraska, Arkansas, that area, you can't live on $35,000 a year. I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
you cannot.
She's in a professional position making.
She is, and what the wild thing is, she's been in that position for 8 years. And I mean, it's. I don't know where the fuck I'm going, but it's like. So
the money hasn't moved. It's been 35, 34, 35, 36,000
for 8 years.
For 8 years, like, all right, when am I going to make 45? Like,
right,
$9,000 more a year. But to them, like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, you if you sit there and go, all right, medium livable wage is $55,000 a year, because according to economists, the optimum base salary for somebody to not have to worry about their needs is $72,000 a year. But very few people are making $72,000 a year.
Yeah.
Now that's New York State, New York.
No, that's across the board.
That's talking about
nationwide.
No, that can't be across the board though. Like,
72,000 is enough to live comfortably.
But so if I'm living in Nebraska or I'm living in San Francisco,
it's an average. It's an average. It's an average. It's an average.
Yeah. So you got to take Nebraska and San Francisco, put it together, and 72 is like
72 is what they're saying.
In San Francisco, it's going to be 120, and in Nebraska, it's like 50. You know what I mean, or 30 or whatever. You know what I mean, but no, I'm sure it's way more in San Francisco than 100.
I think New York City, Boston, San Francisco. I think it's the 3 top rents or like mortgages,
or in the top 5 at least. All of them,
yeah,
for sure.
Like I live in Dorchester, man. I got a good spot. I'm kind of grandfathered into a spot, but I know people across the street from me $3,200 a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, for 2 bedroom. They have 1 parking spot. It's fucking wild, man.
I know.
And I live in a 1,900 square foot house. My mortgage is $1,000 a month.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
And I live in upstate New York. It's like and you know, it's such a fucking crime.
And you got a nice house too. I crashed there, man. I remember it's fucking nice.
But that's the thing. It's such a fucking crime that people are relegated to these economic and financial cages. Like, you've got our brothers living in New York City paying $2,100 a month for a fucking
box.
A box.
Yeah,
it's like
200 square foot fucking apartment.
And I tell them like, yo, if you move 2 hours fucking north, you could afford
a mansion,
5 acres, an in-ground pool, a 3-car fucking
Chinese
garage.
hookers.
The problem is though the problem is you know what you do for work, like you know you know what I mean. Like you make more in New York City versus not everybody. Depends on the sector you're in.
That's one of the benefits that we got out of this fucking whole pandemic shit.
Is that a lot of people can work remotely.
75% of people don't need to be in a fucking cubicle. You ain't got to commute to work.
It's weird, man, because we thought we were going to see a bigger hit on cities with that, and it doesn't seem like there has been as much as we thought.
You know, a massive hit to New York City.
The tech, though, the tech.
There are, if you go on like Realtor.com and look in New York City, there are thousands of apartments of them because people are like.
But it hasn't come down a lot. It came down, but not a lot.
Well, because the motherfuckers that own those buildings,
they're like
still got to make that nut. They're like, yo, I know nobody's here, but I still got to charge $3,200 a fucking month because otherwise I'm going to go broke. It's well, I didn't realize up until the pandemic how much state government is influenced by the fucking real estate lobby. It's a wild fucking thing. The commercial real estate lobby runs most likely if you have major metropolitan areas in your state. They're running who gets elected. They're lobbying for people. Like, for instance, again, our dumbass governor in New York is like, yo, we got to get people back in these fucking office buildings. It's not because they have to be there. It's because commercial real estate's like,
yo, we're
losing money, asshole. Like, if you want a campaign contribution next year, you better get these dumb motherfuckers back in these fucking cubicles.
I think especially over the last 30 to 40 years, the tide has definitely changed from government being responsible to the citizens versus government being responsible to the lobbies. And I remember,
what's the lobbies?
Like
they're like the big rooms you go into before you go into the actual building.
Okay,
like after the doors, before the offices.
Like you know, like just for an example, like if NRA is like. NRA is the representative of people who have gun interests in Washington. Like, so NRA is the gun lobby, even though they're a fucking piece of shit organization.
Right.
Awful.
But you know what I mean? But like, there'll be a lobby for the real estate industry, or there'll be a lobby that represents, like a police union or whatever. Those are all lobbies. You know what I mean? That a shared interest that tries to. There's all kinds of wackiness going on here. I'm trying to answer a question, and I'm like, you motherfuckers got a case of the sniffles. I'm like trying to answer a question.
Sorry.
Ty's doing weird things in the corner.
Sorry. Also, I got to say real quick in my mind, not to cut you off, but my brother Warren and Royce, man.
They're great people.
Shout out to Pitchfork.
Yeah, we love them.
Pitchfork.
LD too. Fuck it, why not?
LD too. But they got the real estate group and properties group, real estate shit, and Warren Lee. Check them out on Instagram.
Okay.
Warren Lee, real estate.
Okay, talk to the mic.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm looking down at the phone, so my brothers, man. You know Warren. You know what's up. Licensed real estate agent for Ideal Properties Group. Peep it, man, on Instagram.
Yeah, if you're in New York City area and you're looking for some real estate, and check out Warren.
That's all.
They'll get you the dopest $3,200 a month box you can get.
They will get you the $3,000 box for maybe $2,500. So check it out.
Tell them KO told you that.
Then it's $2,200. So I got to take 10%.
If you tell them you heard it on the Big Truth podcast, you get 10% off.
That's exactly how we
use the promo code Big Truth when you're signing the lease on your new apartment, and you will get a 20% off your lease for the year.
You'll get a free Keurig
and a Manscaped ball shaver.
Yes, you will.
This apartment comes with the Lawnmower 3.0.
The Lawnmower 3.0 and a ball deodorant. So, which is a fucking. I wish I still kept them as a sponsor. Like
the crop preserver.
I would love to have some fucking ball fucking.
Yeah, they should have a bra that comes with it though. Like it comes with.
It's fucking hot as fuck, man.
Yeah, it is. It's it's hot as fuck over here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's in Massachusetts. It's Florida. We over here. Arizona weather 110 over here. I think 105 feels like that.
When I got in my truck earlier, it said 104, but I think that was like from heating up in the sun. So
Let's
like
just say
it's really 90 something. You know,
I like 101.
But it's
good.
with the dew point and the humidity. It's fuck sucks.
Brutal.
But it's only a few weeks a year, so whatever. Yeah,
it's good.
It gets hot in the summer, it gets cold in the winter, and then New Englanders will always complain.
Me and Viking loved it at the Portuguese Fest.
Thanks for coming out to weather on the 10s with truth.
That's right. Hot in the winter. So no, wait, hot in the summer, cold in the winter. Nice in spring, nice in fall.
That climate change is a motherfucker.
Yo, I'm mind of the state.
Climate changes, yes.
What's up with music, man? For me in hip hop, just quick, I wanted to with hip hop music, like
that was a fucking hell of a segue.
It was good.
Why did I fuck up? I fucked up with
No. It just went from climate change to hip hop. I dig it.
No, you dug it. You got us out of a hole that we were about to go down. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you saved it.
The politics make me crazy, man. I talking about like the politics is crazy. We already know.
Let's talk music. What's on your mind about music right now?
I'm all about talking about hip-hop.
And if anybody knew KO, they know he's got ultimate playlists of random acts of music.
If you want to ask him what his hardest artist is, it's fucking Sade, and he'll fight you over it.
Yeah. It's definitely Sade.
It's Sade, Madball, Warzone, and
Frank
Marvin
Sinatra.
Gaye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll break it down like that.
Actually, I think Frank beats fucking Madball.
And MOP, yeah.
MOP, yeah.
Oh, Annie up. Let's fucking go.
We gotta do Brooklyn stuff. No, I'm just like in my mind, like there's certain shit that's coming out, like Philadelphia and hip hop. I'm not a big Instagram guy, but I watch a little stuff. And Philly right now is killing it in hip hop. It's not like this trappy bullshit, like this crap. It's dope shit.
Are you
like
talking about
young kids coming? I'm not gonna market nobody, or I don't know none of these kids.
No, good. Name names if there's anybody that you're
but I can't name names because they could be suspect. Who knows how they're built? I don't know how they're built.
I'm gonna name a
name.
name.
Like
that the group Coast Contra.
Dope.
Fucking.
That's LA, right?
No, they're Philly. They're Philly. Like Stress knows one of those dudes.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
I like their stuff.
And
they're old school though. They had that.
Their
like
freestyles are fucking fire, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like they bring you right back.
Good, man. Good.
Like 16 bars.
Should come back to artistry and not just fucking mumbling and fucking rhyming the same words with
like these 5 kids can spit a 16 off the top of the dome like nobody's fucking business.
Shit, coming from Viking.
Like old school.
You already know.
Like old school. Like I was thoroughly impressed.
I saw one that freestyles thing they did. It was dope.
Yeah, that Eric Jamal kid. He's the last one to go. And his shit is fucking
Ty,
hard.
What he said, Ty? What he said? He said, punch face, right, left, chop, pop. Yo, berserk. I don't know, whatever it is.
What was the one he goes? Oh fuck! I can't remember. I'm not even gonna fuck it up But he has one line where he's talking about. I can't see cats, but all I see is pumas as he's getting fucking jumped and getting kicked in the face.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm like, fuck, that's good, man. Dude, yeah, but Philly's always had fucking.
Philly's always had dope shit. They're super underground. Most of it, but they're killing it right now, man. There's some young kids coming out of the super
it's good,
hood.
man. It's good that there need to be a resurgence of artistry in that world because I know it got lost for a little while.
Yeah, man.
And
I'm a hip hop head, man. I love hip hop. I know Truth's a super hip hop guy. You know, back in the days, he had his record label and all that stuff.
Which I just found out about.
Yeah, man.
He helped. Yeah? He was literally there for one of my, like, you know how you have like those top 10 albums in your life that like shape you. So we were bullshitting earlier, and I've known Truth. How long have we known each other, Truth? Decade?
I don't know, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy?
Like 100 years.
And I got to give respect to this, and I know everyone sitting at this table is the same way. Is like, you know, obviously we've been around a long time, getting older, but like the amount of people I've known for a serious amount of time that are close to me, and like I fucking.
Take the beer, KO.
So much wackiness going. But you know what I mean? Like, like in the day now where everything's so fly by night and quick, like we all know a lot of motherfuckers for decades or more, like a decade or more, and that's solid fucking forged relationships and fucking that. If that shit means a lot,
that's unheard of, man.
And I feel bad for people that don't got that, and I love that I got that. But it makes it harder when motherfuckers go. You know what I mean? Because that happens. That's been happening a lot now too.
I know.
But yeah, so just respect to everybody that ain't with us anymore.
All the brothers, you know what's up, but we always on our stuff, man.
Yeah.
Always on our stuff.
But it's great.
No matter what, we're always on our stuff. I can say that 1,000 times over. Like, you already know who we are. Like, that's the brothers. That's it. That's family.
Yeah.
But to back to what I was saying, to find out that my brother Truth was involved in the recording. Or was just there?
No, I wasn't involved in the recording.
You were there.
Yeah.
The fact that you were, I mean, it's so funny how shit comes around because Violent by Design by Jedi Mind Tricks shaped my view of underground hip hop when I was a junior in fucking high school. Like, I'm the youngest dude at the table. Yeah. I'm 39, but Violent by Design.
Don't bury me, G.
Violent by Design shaped my music taste from the time I put it in the fucking CD player to now. Like, I still listen to that shit. You know what I mean?
And what I'll say, Vinny's gonna come on at some point, but it's one that I want to do face to face. He's a friend since mid 90s. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I mean. Like, again, like, even in different worlds, like, even outside of like our family stuff, there's like a lot of people that I know that I've known for fucking decades, man, and I appreciate that. And so shout out to every one of you. You know what I mean?
But the reason they're still involved is because they kept it real this whole time.
That's what I mean.
They have never been anything other but themselves.
Yeah.
But we've done that for years. Like, one of the most organic street crews, man. Like, all cultures across the board. Like, you already know who we are. Like, but the family, man. The cultures are crazy, man. Like, the love I have for this shit. In 1986 and on, 2022, it's just unbelievable, man.
Subcultures.
And I hate a lot of you, but I love all of you.
Yeah. Thin line. There's a thin line between love and hate.
The thin line.
But yeah, man. Like,
I don't like all of you, but I love all of you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's family shit,
That's it. That's it, man.
Family shit.
You don't have to like everybody every day, but no matter what,
love all of them.
If I could hate you, or I could not want to be around you one day, but if shit goes sideways, I'm gonna have your back,
exactly.
and I can make fun of my brother. Somebody outside of this can't make fun of my brother.
Exactly.
I'm gonna lump you the fuck up.
Right. That's beautiful.
You don't want Viking to come knocking.
No. That's the real shit.
He's a hammer.
But yeah, it's just so funny how I remember sitting at my kitchen table as a sophomore in high school in Charlotte, North Carolina, right?
See, I didn't know this about you. I know you as an upstate guy. I didn't know the New Mexico connection, the North Carolina.
So quick rundown for me. I was born in Philadelphia. I lived in Swarthmore, a suburb of Philadelphia, for the first 4 years of my life.
Was it on the playground where you spent most of your days?
Until playing some,
Okay.
and then I slapped Chris Rock because of my fucking bitch ex-wife and chick out wild. Anyway, Will Smith's a fucking cuck.
Yeah. Both of them.
So I was born in Philly, and I moved out and moved to North Carolina. Lived there for 8 years, but I remember doing my fucking homework, listening to the fucking. You remember the record label Identity, who put out like all the fucking metal shit back in the day?
No,
I don't like. No.
Identity Distro.
No. Like name some artists, and I'll probably
Marauder.
Okay.
Marauder. What Marauder?
Minus Marauder is the.
No, not minus Marauder.
And that's the only Marauder.
Yeah.
I know.
On this podcast.
Right, but no.
But I remember listening to fucking like Master Killer.
Yeah.
As a fucking 14-year-old kid. And now to have it come full circle where like I'm part of this thing that it's just fucking wild. And then, the connection with you and Vinny Paz and just,
Yeah.
You
Shout out Vin. What up, Vin? KO.
It's wild. It's amazing how everything's fucking linked, and it's.
Yeah, well, it's weird, right? Because like in the early days of like what's called underground hip hop, it was a way smaller scene, and it was tight, and it was just like fucking hardcore. Yeah, and a lot of dudes were old hardcore dudes, like Vinny's an old hardcore dude. So we clicked, like in the mid '90s. Like he sent me the Amber Pro BP, which was the first Jedi Mind Records. They put it out themselves, and I was like, I remember bringing it and showing it to Seamus, Esoteric, who was my roommate at the time, being like, dude, these motherfuckers are just like us. And then it just clicked, and that's how a lot of shit is. Like in the world, it still happens now. Like right, like I see a motherfucker that's like like hardcore or motorcycles or the same type of hip hop or something, and it clicks or it doesn't. You know what I mean? And it's
right.
Like, all right. It's like, and that's the world, right? You know what I mean?
100%.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool. Like I don't make as many new friends, you know what I mean? But I don't need to. Like I got you motherfuckers. I got like fucking and a ton of friends just from life. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that in a dicky way. It's just
that's
you got to be a standout motherfucker to come in the circle nowadays. Like because you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's beautiful though, man.
With age, we
beautiful.
just get more discerning.
I find that
I think Ty just left you. Yeah, you're crashing at my house tonight. Ty just is like, fuck this. He just got up and left. He shut the door.
I'll sleep at Chopperhead. I'm over here. It don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I find I'm making better connections with old friends.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean? Like I'm forming better bonds with the people I've been around for the past 10 years. You know what I mean? Because especially now that we've because for so long we took for granted that we're going to see each other. You know what I mean? And then you spend 2 years locked down where nobody's fucking traveling, nobody's going and doing nothing. And it's like, oh, over those 2 years, we lost people. We lost people in our circle. We're like, and you go, oh, fuck, I didn't get to say what I wanted to say to them. I didn't get to connect how I wanted to connect. So now when I come back and I get to see people, it's like, yo, I want to make sure that everybody I see, I connect with on a deeper level, because I want them to know that if they're gone tomorrow,
yeah, man,
I love them to death, and you're still my people.
Yeah,
and I want
that
you
means
to.
a lot, man. That means a lot. We've lost a lot of brothers and family, brothers and friends and acquaintances.
Yeah, because you never know.
Couple years, man.
And it's not to get weird or anything, but you never know when it's your last day, when it's their last day. Wow. And getting on to exactly what you said, it's like not. This is my boy Nick, who's outside of the thing you're talking about, but has been my friend for 2 decades for industry customs, a motorcycle guy. I had talked to him on a Wednesday, and it was just about mundane shit. And we always talked about weird shit and fun shit, and always had like weird non sequitur, like nonsense conversations that were fucking hilarious. It was all inside jokes, like kind of like how we all do, right?
Yeah.
And then the last time I talked to him literally was about some mundane business shit. Like he was like, oh man, if you need a new motorcycle, ship it this, you know. And I was like, all right, man, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Next morning, he was dead. And I was like, man, like if I fucking had known.
Well,
sure.
Like and there's no way to fucking know. But what I'm saying is you take that going forward and be like, don't ever take shit for granted. And, tell the people you love them. Fucking tell the people you fucking hate them. Like, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Because you go out, like, make sure you never know. Like, you know what I mean?
What do you do, though? Like, what would you say? Like, you know what I mean? Truth, like, what do you do?
But that's
like
the thing.
My brother Billy, man, God rest his soul.
Same thing,
like, locked up most of his life. He came home. He had a little habit. He stayed with me. Basically died on my couch from ALS, man. I saw him shaking in front of me. That shit.
Yeah, it's fucking the worst.
And then my homegirl passed away like 3 months after that. It was like, the Reaper's chasing me,
Yeah.
I was like, it almost felt like my time. Like, and sometimes I almost wanted that. I was like, yeah, motherfucker, come get me.
Yeah.
Because, it was in my head. It's like so close to me. There was a woman I slept in the bed with me, and my homeboy that stayed at my house, he died almost right in front of me, man, shaking like, it's so crazy, man. Like you see, it's just
you start to get the survivor's guilt.
Yeah, man. Your mind goes fucking
100%.
crazy. Like like it's sad. Like we're hard people. I'm a hard person. I come from, but I almost broke down, man. Like
no, it's crazy.
I almost lost my stuff.
We're at the age where that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. But not even that age. Like whatever it is, 40s plus. But damn, it's like damn, I guess life catches up to you, man. Like your stuff you do, and
well, that's all I meant. Yeah,
it catches up to you, the stuff you do, and like I've done a lot of wild things in my life. I know a lot of my brothers have done the same shit, man. You know, God bless. Well, I'm still here, man.
I know.
You know, I put my mom through hell, man. I love you, Mom. You know, just.
I think a lot of people listening are probably in our age range, but if there's younger people, don't take the shit for granted and fucking love it, man, because.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. But I mean, live it like, you know.
Live it, dude.
Go fast.
Go fast.
But not, you know, pump the brakes a little bit, you know.
Well, let me come at it from the other way too. This is hard. This is going to sound weird, but when those people pass, don't take it as hard as you're going to take it. Remember, like for your homeboy who died the next day, you know, you sit there and you go, oh man, what could I have said? But you talked to him the night before. Imagine how you would feel if you hadn't spoken to him for a month or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I get it. But there's always going to be a little regret where I wish I just talked to him a little bit more, just about not some like like back and forth like bullshit. Sure. Because our whole friendship was always like weird shit or fun shit and wild style. And this was like literally the most like business fucking transaction, boring conversation we ever had. And I'm not boring, but just like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck. Like, I wish I could have said one more dumbass thing to him or got one more dumbass laugh. You know what I mean?
But even saying that, like, you could say that 20 times over. Of course. You could say the same thing over and over.
Of course. With any of our brothers, how many brothers passed in the last few years? You know what I mean?
Man.
Or even just like...
We've been through it.
Or Ryan, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always so much. But
forcing it would have been disingenuous. And it wouldn't have been true to,
but it wouldn't have been forcing it. It wouldn't have been forcing it. I wish I took more time because it was also, I was busy. So I was like, all right, cool, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure he was busy too. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, but fucking being busy, I'm working a lot harder for less these days because of the market, the economical environment, right? But like, so fuck it, dude. Like you got to live, like, you know what I mean? And what's it all mean? Like, this is like, now we're getting fucking weird. This is where we should be on psilocybin right now.
We are a little bit. I'm on a little bit.
But you know what I mean? But
Small
it's like,
amounts.
It's fucking crazy, right? Because there's got to be a balance, right? Because I'm always like, go, work. Yeah. I can't do that. I got to fucking work tomorrow. Or I got to do this. I'm ready to be like, fuck that. Like, because I'm not getting nothing out of work. Like I'm barely fucking squeaking by in a lot of ways.
I think, you're my brother, man. I've known you for years. Like, I think that keeps us away from the demons, you know. It's a place like
that too.
Idle hands. If we're just hanging around, not doing anything,
no, we'd be way more wild. Yes. Yeah, no, I remember that. I know my 20s. Yeah, like I'm still paying pipers
even
from that
in
shit.
Your 40s, man.
Yeah,
in your 40s,
still in my
nothing changes. You can definitely.
It's true. It's
true.
I
can't. I don't mind idle hands. For me, it's not good, man.
No, it's true. Know? It's all a balance. Yeah.
You know, so even like working for less money and stuff like that, sometimes like, oh, it sucks. But then if a couple of days go by, I'm not working. I'm like, fuck.
Oh no, I don't get it. Like,
I need to be back at something. You know,
I can't even, like, if I have a single day off, like, I don't even know what to fucking do with myself.
We needed one. Yeah. But 20 hours, you sleep 6 of them.
Yeah.
24, you sleep 6 of them, get up and do 15, and then back in. One day. Like, sometimes I need 2 days just to do life. Laundry, like, collect my thoughts.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't want my thoughts, because sometimes the thoughts, the demonic, man.
I think, honestly, too, sometimes, and now we're going to get into it where Viking's going to step in more, because he has a men's health podcast, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But, like, I think I have to work myself to the point where I'm so exhausted I just fall asleep. Because if I sit there and I have time to think, it's fucking bad, and I'm up all fucking night.
Me too, brother.
I got to beat myself up so that I just fucking pass the fuck out.
That's just what it is, and I've been like that most of my life.
Yeah,
man. Dude. Most of my life. And whatever it is, I accept it.
Starts getting real about 50 minutes into the podcast. But
up front, I was the same way. I would ignore my problems, and not ignore my problems. I thought I was addressing them, but I was the same way. I would work myself to the bone, and then I would go to the gym, and I would work myself to the bone at the gym.
Yeah.
And then I'd go home, and I'd pass the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it cost me my first marriage. It almost cost me my second marriage, because what I was doing was I was exhausting myself to the point where I wouldn't have to deal with my issues. You know what I mean? I would just be like, yo, I'm so fucking tired.
Nick, I don't want to talk about it, man.
I don't have to talk about it because
I have nothing left.
I got nothing left. So clearly, if I don't have the energy to be mad, I don't have the energy to be depressed, I don't have the energy to be fucking ADD, I can just go the fuck to bed. I can eat dinner and go the fuck to bed.
It's almost like an excuse, right?
It's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's my way out.
This way, I consider myself having a quote unquote outlet.
Yeah, I'm a man. I'm doing the right thing. I'm working
my balls off. The bills are fucking paid. Dinner's on the table. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And then my first wife's like,
fuck off.
Well, dude, what about our relationship? I'm like, no, I'm doing it. I paid the bills. We have a house. We have food. Like, what do you mean? Like, so I every now and then I get drunk and call you a cocksucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like. What's acceptable losses here? Like, your needs are taken care of. So what? I get drunk every now and then and yell at you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like when you're a healthy human being. Oh, turns out that's not sustainable. Okay, well then I go into my second marriage, and I start doing the same thing again. Yeah. Except this time, now we have a child, and it got to the point where my wife sat me down. She goes, "Yo, you may go and work, and you may go to the gym, and you may come home exhausted, but for the 3 hours you're interacting with us,
sucks.
You're walking around like a fucking ogre." And she's like, "I'm not going to live with an ogre." And I was like, "Fuck." So,
it's real.
And you know, and that's why I appreciate her, because the honesty is what I needed.
Yeah.
And I went, all right, how can I turn this life that I've spent 10 years doing, or 20 years doing, or 38 years doing, how can I turn that around and stop just putting a Band-Aid on it and actually get to the root of it? And that's where therapy and psychedelics fucking saved my ass. And acknowledging that what I was doing was a fucking Band-Aid and not a cure. Because just because you have a pressure release valve is cool and it helps, but on the days you don't have that pressure release valve, what do you like?
Yeah.
Are you fucking unbearable because you didn't get that pressure release? So it's like, oh, this isn't a cure. This is a Band-Aid. This is just every now and then. It's like a fucking...
it's like it's being selfish.
Yeah, 100%.
It was my day today. I'm gonna let the pressure out today. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
All right. But you know,
but then we're
alpha men. We're men. Yeah. Like alphas do that. Like that's it's crazy.
And which is cool. But the problem is, you're saving yourself that little bit, and you're saving the rest of the world that little bit. But the person that's with you every day, that significant other, that person who's like been like your ride or die. At that point, the problem is it now builds with them. That you're pushing the responsibility of your anger and your depression on them, because they have to now deal with it, and they may not have a release valve for it. So the only way for you to do right by them is to address your shit, whatever way that may be. You know, I can't sit here and tell somebody how to fucking address their shit, but if you can't just sit here and try to, you know what I mean? Like you can't just sit here and be like, yo, this activity releases me, because on the days you don't have that activity and you're an asshole, well, it's not curing anything. But if you can get to the root of it and then compound it with that activity, you're going to be a better, healthier person, and you're going to be a better person around the people that are around you all the time. And I realize this because I have a daughter. And my wife sat me down. She goes, "Hey, you're this big angry dude." She goes, "I get it, but you have to sit here and look on the days you're this big angry dude.
Yeah.
You have to sit there and look at your daughter and go, I'm the blueprint. Like, would you want your daughter dating somebody like you right now?" And I think,
you answered that question, right?
No, if she brought somebody like me in right now, I'd whoop his ass.
Yeah, that's
I'd fuck him up.
Yeah,
because I ain't going to have my daughter dating some angry douchebag. It's like, oh, okay, so I got to be a better person. I got to show her what a well-balanced, emotional alpha male is.
She's dating the same person as you, and you're like, yeah, this guy's like, hey, you vicious.
Yeah.
But
the problem is, when he walks in my door,
he sucks.
I got 29 years of experience on him. I'm gonna fuck his ass up.
Fuck his ass up.
Yeah,
he's the same person.
And plus, you're a former strongman competitor and a current jiu-jitsu competitor. but and on top of that, there's not any shortage of dudes that are friends of ours in Albany that can be sitting around the table when he comes in, but also, it is like I don't know, and I'm talking out my ass here, but this is just things that you hear along the way. But like a lot of times, girls do kind of choose someone that reminds them a little bit of their father.
Well, you're not talking out your ass at all. You're 100% right, because the blueprint for a male figure is a girl's father.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you're doing the right thing by trying to make a better blueprint.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. I owe it to her.
That's probably part of the reason why some of the world's so fucked up now, man, because so many dudes are shitty that...
Well, that's the thing. You know, you hear about a girl who has daddy issues. It's like, well, no.
That's my girls.
If she doesn't have daddy issues, she has an absence of a positive male figure in her life. So it's not that she has daddy issues. She has lack of daddy issues.
Yeah.
You know, if she... You know, the girl that has daddy issues, it's such a misnomer.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to signal to KO that I need another Genesee, but I think we're done.
We drank them all.
Genesee.
Yeah. That's what happens at 2:15 in the morning.
But that's
talking about daddy issues at 2:15.
I love Viking. I love Viking right now. I love him. I know he's deep right now, and I'm feeling my brother. I'm feeling his soul and his stuff, and he knows where he's at right now.
Yeah.
He knows. But me, I'm not being rude. I love you, brother. Viking, you know I love you.
I know you do. I love you too.
So, you know, me, the dirty, rotten birds. And I would say, and I'm just, you know, I think we're getting a little... In my mind, I was getting a little sensitive because I love him, you know, and he was getting deep. And I love him for that.
Let me ask you a question. When you were going through, are you still going through therapy?
Yeah.
Do they know you're doing psilocybin as well?
Yeah.
What's their thoughts on that?
They don't like
it. I'm very lucky because my therapist is one of those people who, and I think that for anybody out there who has any sort of hesitancy or some sort of negative stigma about therapy as a male, put it to bed. It's not the whole reason to have to go see a therapist is not somebody to judge you or tell you otherwise. It's to have an unbiased person to listen to you. You know what I mean? And they're not going to judge me for what I do.
But do they tell you what your bullshit is?
Yeah. I mean, they keep me accountable.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
But they aren't. If I tell them my deepest, darkest, wildest thoughts, they're not like, "Yo, you're fucked up." You know what I mean? They're like, "All right." I tell them that, and they go, "Okay, let's break this down. Let's explore that. Let's look into this. Let's dissect this. Let's see what let's see what the cause is for this. You know what I mean? Like, they want to get to the bottom of it. They don't want to sit here and be like, you know, because the second you offer negative pushback on something, that's the best way to get somebody shut down.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to get somebody to yes and you and just yes you to death. And that's not any good therapist is going to give you this open, free line of communication to express yourself without judgment. And that's what I'm lucky about. I told my therapist, I go, "Yo, Friday night, I did 5 grams of DMT." He goes, "Okay, what did you see?" And I told him. And he goes, "All right, how'd that affect you?"
What did you see?
We'll get into that in a second.
All right, yeah.
And then he goes, "What did you?" I go, and then the next day, because the wife and kiddo were out of town, I said I did 11 grams of fucking shrooms in my backyard.
You did 11?
11 grams.
Goddamn, Hero's Journey is 5. You did 2 Hero's Journeys plus
Journey,
1 for extra measure.
It's called
extra bonus, extra journey.
It's called the shaman dose.
Is that, yeah?
Yeah. I mixed that up with orange juice to get the vitamin C.
Oh, so that makes it even fucking worse.
To kick it off.
Crazy, yeah.
Oh, man.
I heard I'm going to give you a lemon juice recipe.
Okay.
Just remind me that. I'll text it to you.
Okay. I did those back to back. And the amount of perspective I got off those was worth more than any amount of ADD or SSRI medication could ever give me. You know what I mean? Like those, the perspective I got and the insight I got from those 2 nights back to back of heavy psilocybin. And quick disclaimer out there, don't go do what I did. I've been doing psychedelics for the past 2 decades. I know my limits. I know what I'm capable of handling. I know how to do them correctly.
Yeah, don't jump in on 11 fucking grams on your
He's
fucking dose.
a big dude too.
Yeah, plus he's got good body weight.
He's a big man.
But
June bugs.
You know, I know what I know what is needed for me.
Yeah.
And the perspective I've got from those has helped me so much with my anger and everything else in conjunction with therapy and medication and just working on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope, but therapy is not a sign of weakness anymore. You know what I mean? Just think you have to think about it as like, all right, I have all these people in my life.
And also don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to cut you off, but it's
you just did.
I know.
You just cut me off.
I know.
You totally cut me off.
But you get right back into it.
I'm gonna.
But this is a salute to you. So relax. But the fact is that, like, no. The thing is, you've managed a lot of things through therapy, but that doesn't make you like. Because a lot of guys are like, oh, I don't want to go in there and be all just wishy washy. Like, you still got that anger, and you can channel that when it's needed and justified, and I love that. But I love that you have it more under control, where it's not just controlling you; you can control it.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, like, even like my last few days here, because it's hot, fucking sweaty, I'm like fucking on edge, and I'm fucking cranking, and I'm fucking snapping at people, and I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? But and so I respect that. That's all I'm saying is, like, you know what I mean. So, but I'm just letting motherfuckers know, don't get it twisted. That doesn't mean it goes away. That just means you can control it and choose when to unleash.
Hell yeah!
Instead
with you saying that, I had a day 2 days ago where me and the missus got into an argument, and I got mad, and it was one of those arguments where shit stuck with me the whole day.
Yeah.
And I realized, this is that old feeling, that old comfortable feeling of being angry.
Shitty.
That old, no, it wasn't shitty. It was beautiful. It was like orgasmic. It was like you have that fire burning right here in the middle of you. That fire of that pit that like lights up, that gives you that rage, that anger, where you have two roads to go down. You can let it consume you, or you can let it motivate you. And what has helped me is to choose the road where it motivates me.
Yeah.
And I chose the motivation road, and I'm like, oh, I can wear this as a warm blanket of anger, as opposed to having it consume me in like an all-encompassing rage where I'm just this ogre stomping around. Now I can take it and wear it like a nice warm coat, and it's going to motivate me to go do shit. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go prove to her that I'm a better man. I'm going to go fucking take my daughter and go do some shit. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm going to be a fucking beast tonight. Right. You know what I mean? I'm going to take that anger. I'm going to use it as fuel. I'm not going to use it as poison. It's not going to poison me. Right. I'm going to use it as fucking jet fuel. It's going to motivate me.
Used to poison you.
100% used to poison me. And it would demotivate me, and it'd make me this depressed fucking ogre. But now I have the tools to be like, no.
Good, man. It's beautiful.
This is going to be jet fuel. And I'm going to come out the other side, and I'm going to be a fucking animal in a positive sense.
Still be an animal.
still be an animal, but I'm going to use it in a positive sense. I'm going to go home, and as stupid as it sounds, I'm going to do fucking every dish in the house. I'm going to fold every piece of laundry. I'm going to go jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to choke out every motherfucker I roll with, and I'm going to go home. I'm going to read Goodnight Moon to my fucking daughter like a goddamn beast, and I'm going to wake up in the morning and be a fucking champ.
Yeah, man.
And that's what that anger does for me. That's awesome, but I can wear it like a nice warm coat. I can take that anger that used to fucking poison me, and I can make it to be my fuel that I now run on. And that's what therapy has done to me. It has allowed me to give me the tools, the roadmap to take that anger, and where it was taking me down one fucking dark path, it's going to take me down the right fucking path where I'm going to make my life fucking better because of it. It's never going to go away. You're right. There's not a drug in the world that's going to take away your anger. If you have anger problems, I was diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder.
I think most brothers, most people I know have anger problems.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People
There's
I know
plenty in the world to be angry about.
From my father to my grandfather, just in my life. Like my brother.
Look at Ty right
my
now.
My brother Ty. I know
look how pissed off he is.
I know he's
over
super
there
mad at me right now, and I love him.
Bro, his neck tattoo's turning red.
Yo, Viking, man, that's beautiful to hear that, man. Real shit.
Is this the type of stuff going in therapy? Is that what influenced you to make a health podcast, or was that beforehand?
Well, that's what influenced me, because I was like, me and my co-host Yogi, we were both. I was diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder, which is basically like blind rage. It just comes on. It's a form of depression, where some people's depression manifests as like sadness. Mine manifests as unbridled anger. I've had it my entire life. But as I was getting diagnosed with that and going through therapy and getting medication and all that stuff, he got diagnosed with adult autism. He was an angry dude, and he couldn't figure out why he was angry. He got diagnosed when he was in his mid-30s with autism and ADD. And so we kind of went through this thing at the same time. And I said, and we used to sit down, we used to go out once a week and have these dinners where we, have a couple beers and have dinner and just talk about what the fuck we were going through. And one day I said, yo, why don't we record this shit? Because we can't be the only two people in the world going through this shit. Like, maybe if other people hear this and realize they're not alone, it'll help motivate them to continue to seek help what they're going through. And maybe some people will hear the shit we're talking about and say, oh, fuck, I got that too. Maybe I should go. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just even if it's just talking to somebody once, maybe you need it, maybe you don't. But if it gets you out of that shell, if it eliminates the stigma of thinking that, I don't know, it's therapy's, pussy, it's not manly. If I can help people just go and talk, it's going to make the world a better place. It's going to make people just fucking more open. Just,
cheers to that. I get it.
Fuck, even what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can feel that too. It's working for me also. Like, I can feel it's working for you right now.
Yeah.
I know that. I love that. Your family to me, man. You know what's up.
Yeah, of course.
It just feels good. Even when they let him talk, it feels amazing. Like, when I see you rocking like that, I'm looking at your face right now, and I can see all your energy, man. And I can see your anger and your love coming out of you. You know what I'm saying? I can see the anger, but the love at the same time, which is fucking great, man. It's hard to men. It's hard to be a fucking man in this world. Fuck out of here with that shit.
And it's such a weird world right now too, because we're kind of a little outdated in today's world. And,
in our early 40s.
Yeah. No, I don't mean outdated as in age-wise, but like attitude-wise, man. Like, you know, like we're dinosaur, quote-unquote, alpha, whatever. So,
right.
And it is. But what he's saying is important, because that's going to resonate with a lot of people. And a lot of people have unexplained fucking uncontrollable rage and anger that want to try and get it under control and think it's fucking gay to go do that.
Right.
It's not, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that is a dig to any people that, you know what I'm saying.
No.
I say it old school, like schoolyard way, meaning weak. Meaning weak. Whatever. Question. So whatever. But so you know what I mean?
Gay people have anger too.
Yeah, of course. And they might have explosive
And shout out to the gay community. You know what's up.
But anyway, like the thing is what I'm saying is like, you know, like it is stigmatized amongst like our type. You know what I mean? Like therapy or what's that? You know, what do you need that for? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? But to hear someone that's gone through it, now I see the difference in you. Like I've known you for years, and at first I was always like we clicked. Like I think it was, I don't remember exactly when, but when I first met you, I was like, that dude's fucking whatever. You know what I mean? And then like fuck him. You know what I mean? But then there was some time we just clicked. You know what I mean? I can't remember when it was. And then I think we were talking about guns or something. We bonded on guns.
Probably.
Or something. And then after that, we were always cool. But it was always like, yeah, he's kind of loose cannon. But then I was like, he's loose cannon, but I'm glad he's on my team. You know what I mean? You know, he's fucking, you know what I mean? And then even within the team, I'm glad he's within, like, you know what I mean? Like, cause but whatever. But you know what I mean? But like, you definitely seem like you're in a much better place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's congrats for doing the work. And I'm not saying congrats that you're there. I'm saying congrats that you were able to recognize it and do the work to get to the place, because it doesn't just fucking happen. You gotta fucking make it.
No.
It's like the 12-step program. You know, the very first step is you have to acknowledge you have a problem. If you don't acknowledge that, there's no helping you.
Yeah.
Because there's no helping somebody who thinks they're fucking perfect.
Yeah.
They're a fucking
right. They're a genius. They're a genius.
They're a narcissist.
Right.
Yeah, you might as well go out in the fucking desert and start a cult, because there ain't no helping you. You know, fucking. But
now if I want to acknowledge my problems but still want to go to the desert and start a cult
with the mushrooms,
but
you're going to be the healthiest mental cult leader out there.
Okay, all right. I just want to be. I don't want to be a narcissist.
You're going to be a narcissistic psychopath, but you're going to be empathetical.
An empathetic, narcissistic psychopath.
That's right.
Sounds pretty good.
You're going to bang.
I can live with that.
You're going to bang everybody else's wife, but you're going to understand how they feel.
I care about that.
No.
I just want the money. Fucking.
It always starts with the money, and then it's
coming up next.
It's not a podcast anymore.
Psychedelics in the fucking
desert. It's a Big Truth family now. Like, and there's no more podcasts.
Sign up. It's $300. You can Venmo your money to.
We're going to give you these purple tracksuits and these white Adidas, and you're going to cut your nuts off the next time the comic comes through.
But I guarantee that you will have life after
death.
Yes. In the next world. Like, we're going to go to a better place when
check it out.
Armageddon happens. I've been in contact with the aliens that have told me that we're going to go there.
The Anunnaki are coming back.
Yes. So you young wild kids that are whacked out, come with us. We got you.
We got you.
We'll support you. Fucking
bring your trust funds.
Yeah.
And bring your mom.
The Anunnaki are going to give me a craft if I can raise 15 million, and they'll give me a craft that guarantees everyone who's donated to that will get on the craft, and we'll escape global warming.
It's the Anunnaki
in the next 10 years. So yeah. And it's the Anunnaki boat, like the Love Boat.
Hey, listen, look.
You got to do the work.
On G's, I think mental health is fucking a lot to talk about. Like,
I know.
Because I'm mental.
So, we all are.
You know,
but you're healthy.
I'm healthy, but I'm in prison, being locked up. I've seen people freak the fuck out, like, man. And I've been freaked out of my life, my mind.
Of course, dude. You take a dog and put him in his crate for more than 10 hours, for more than 3 hours. They're gonna fucking
just
freak
even
out.
being on the street, like the way the world's working right now, man, it can fuck with you.
The world's a fucky place right now.
It is a funky place.
I said fucky, but funky too.
Right. Who got that funky joint? Boom, 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 boom.
But so with the podcast, talk a little bit about the because we didn't really even properly introduce it, man. Like, it's Beautiful Barbarian podcast. You've been going for almost a year.
Half a year.
Half a year. Yeah.
Half a year.
Which is almost
this. Yeah, we started this back in February. It's Beautiful Barbarians podcast. Apple, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you can find it. But it's good, man. Like, I do competitive jiu-jitsu now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the whole goal is men's mental health, but I have people on that you wouldn't think have issues with mental health. We've had SWAT team members on. We've had Navy SEALs on. We've had Jiu-Jitsu black belts on. We had our brother on who spent some time in prison. You know what I mean? Like all these people who you wouldn't think would have a vested interest in mental health. You know what I mean? You just think of them in natural, like that alpha male mindset. You know what I mean? They're just hard charging go people. But when you sit them down and talk to them, everybody, you know, these bad motherfuckers have the issues that the common man has. They have anxiety. They have OCD. They have depression. You know what I mean? And it's just, we're just trying to bring light that, you know, this isn't a weakness. This isn't something that's going to break you down. This isn't something that's going to make you a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if a Navy SEAL has OCD and depression and anxiety, that's going to make your OCD, depression, anxiety maybe not as insurmountable or not as isolating. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yo, if the baddest motherfucker in our armed forces is going through the same mental shit that you're going through, and he can go talk to a therapist,
you can too.
Maybe you can make a phone call and do it too. You know what I mean? It's the whole goal of it is to get these bad motherfuckers on and to have them talk about their vulnerabilities so that other people who are listening are like, oh, fuck, I got that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I can talk about this too, because this dude who's out here fucking stacking bodies in fucking the Middle East can't go outside without touching a doorknob 3 times. I got that too.
Yeah.
I can go talk about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or the SWAT team member who has PTSD, like maybe I can go talk about, you know, it's just, I want people to understand that there are people out there doing amazing things and doing hard charging shit that also have fucking mental weakness. And it's not something that makes you a bitch. It's not something that makes you a pussy. It's your ignorance of it that makes you weak.
Yeah.
Not acknowledging it makes you weak. Not addressing it makes you weak. The people that address their weaknesses and make them a strength, those are strong fucking people.
Sure.
And you can be a strong person, but the first things first is you have to acknowledge it and you have to work on changing it. And everybody's going through it and everybody's working on it. So you can too. It's not something that you should push deep down. It's not something that you should fucking bury and hide. It's something that you should acknowledge, that is a part of you, that defines you, but it does not control you. You control it when you do the work. You know, that's the whole point of the podcast. Because I have a daughter, I want her to grow up in a society of strong, emotionally stable men. I don't want her to grow up in a society full of fucking weak men, because those are your rapists. Those are your fucking abusers. Those are the people that are fucking making this world shit. Strong men don't make this world shit. Weak men make this world shit for women. And I don't want my daughter...
They make the world shit for everybody. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But especially,
you don't want to be a weak man and deal with my daughter when she's fucking 18, because she'll fucking eat you up. And I'll make sure of that. So strong men are going to make a better world. And if I can contribute to making the world better through strong men, then I'll have succeeded. If I can make one dude a better person going forward,
you did something.
I've done something.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole point of the podcast. That's why it's beautiful.
And also
Barbarians.
just, like you said, also just destigmatizing and not normalizing, but destigmatizing mental health issues, because strength isn't just physical.
And it should be normalized. Yeah. I can't. Can you name one person that you know that's completely normally mentally healty? I fucking can't.
No, I can't.
There's no such thing as that, though. Like this. I mean, that's perfection. You know, that's perfection.
That too. Yeah.
There's no perfection in the world. No. Like people can say that they can look and act a certain way, and that's unheard of, man. It's unheard of. It doesn't happen. Yeah. No one's that.
Everyone got strengths and weaknesses, but if your weaknesses are affecting your life that bad where you need to address it, then addressing it becomes a strength.
No doubt. Try to manage that, no doubt, and in any way you can, you know.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want. Nobody's ever going to be perfect.
No.
And you know what? I love all my people because of their imperfections.
Right.
I don't love it. Yo, if you're a perfect motherfucker, you're a boring motherfucker.
Have you ever seen?
You're boring as shit,
like,
bro.
Sometimes you might roll up on people, or you see, like it looks like perfection. There's no perfection. Like there's no such thing as man, woman, child. Like there's nothing. The man and woman, child, they're perfect right there until they become a woman or a man. Then they're perfection. But like there's no perfection in life, man.
No, the perfect motherfucker is going to bed at 8 p.m. with fucking cucumber water.
But is that perfect?
I don't want to hang out with them. I want to hang out with a dude who's got a fucking screw loose, who's fucking doing blow till 2:30 in the morning in a fucking hotel room, looking out every 30 minutes and loading a fucking 30-round clip in an Uzi.
Or in a chopper shop recording a podcast.
Sorry, Ty. Sorry.
241.
Tomato. But that's the interesting shit I want to be involved with.
Very similar people, right?
Very similar. I might know a couple.
But yo,
As you sit across the table from them.
if those people are working on their shit, then I know they're still working towards a better person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Perfect people are fucking boring.
Yeah, there's no perfect people, man. And it's funny because like I like to game on people and watch people act perfect. They act perfect for hours. And then they just dissolve. You see it, you just watch them dissolve, the perfection dissolve. There's no perfect, man. The flaws are the flaws.
The mask falls off, and next thing you know, they're punching their wife in the face over an empty peanut butter jar. It's like, all right.
What?
Destroyed.
An empty peanut butter jar.
Oh, okay. That was oddly specific. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, bitch should have bought creamy. I don't know what to tell you.
Peanut butter spread.
I don't want the sunflower butter.
Sunflower almond butter.
This is extra crunchy, you whore. And
that's the quote for the podcast.
Extra crunchy whore.
This was at the 1 minute 28 mark. So
the 1 minute 28 mark?
Yeah.
Dude, what happened? I just go into a wormhole?
Yeah.
We've been at this for 98 seconds?
No. Minutes.
I think we're an hour and a half in.
Yeah. Minutes, not seconds. So how is psychedelics, you think, enhanced or contributed to your kind of work in mental health?
Shifted my perspective, like completely shifted it.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Kate, too. So
no,
remember what you got.
I know.
All right, it's gonna get weird, but it's the Big Truth podcast. So what?
Some listeners might remember that there was a podcast with me, you, and Jimmy G, where me and you were taking mushrooms and Jimmy G was taking DMT, and we recorded a good 3 hours, I think. So.
He smoked that whole DMT pen and did not shut the fuck up the entire time.
It was great.
It was insane, especially now coming off of me doing actual DMT. I at one point I was like, how the fuck did he keep talking? Because at one point, I hit this shit.
That's the next level of a consumer of
and
drugs.
I'm on my deck in my backyard.
Yeah, and get to this because that was a question you had earlier. Like what
I hit
talk about this
shit.
DMT trip,
bro. Star Trek. Remember when they hit fucking warp speed or Star Wars when the Millennium Falcon hits warp speed?
Yeah.
It was like that, except I'm on my deck in my backyard. I hit this fucking joint laced with DMT, and an invisible hand shoves me back in my fucking deck chair.
One toke.
And I did the 3 hit.
Yeah,
3 heavy hits.
Yeah. The mandatory.
Held it and then let it out.
So you did it in a joint laced with DMT.
That's how I've done it because I tried to vaporize it.
Saying,
didn't
weed in
fucking
it?
work. Yeah.
Oh, so what's the weed? A fantasy? The weed is like a.
Well, it's nice
what's
to come.
the weed though? Just
it's nice to come
like a tropical fantasy.
Tropical fantasy.
Yeah. It's like the Tony
Cranberry
Romo
fantasy.
commercial with the Coronas. It's great.
It's a conduit to help
That's
get it into
because
your system.
because the
DMT,
problem is
what DMT is.
DMT smells like you're smoking a corpse.
like
It's
smoking-
horrible.
it's
by
rough.
itself.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you it's like you ever it's
powder.
You've smoked meth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have too. It's fucking
like
rough. It's rough as shit. But if you mix the DMT with weed, it takes the edge off.
It's like angel dust. Back then, angel dust used to mix it with a little bit of weed. Back in.
That's the one thing I've never done. I've never done PCP. So maybe next Launchpad episode we can do some PCP and watch fucking. We can watch Pink Floyd and Pompeii.
Yeah, we'll We got to do it in Philly with Stresser and Jimmy.
Yeah. Philly's the mecca of PCP. Actually.
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll get Vinny Paz on the episode too. It'll be amazing.
It's like either Uptown 140, Crazy Eddie Block 116th, 141st, Mad Men, it was called, or Philly was rocky with that shit. We used to kill that shit. You know, the fellas. Oh my goodness gracious.
Right,
we smelled like because it was that formaldehyde in that shit, right?
Yeah.
So we smelled like a funeral parlor.
Didn't they call that Sherm?
Sherm, Sherm. But it was like a Los Angeles thing. But we smelled like funeral parlor.
Funeral parlor, yeah.
Shout out to Damian Burns.
Yeah. So you're on your deck and you smoke some weed laced with DMT and you launch like it was like going into hyperdrive.
It was, bro. Like this invisible hand just shoved me back in my chair. And there was, so I think for the lay person, everybody thinks of DMT and they think of like what Joe Rogan has described, intergalactic space elves and all that shit. I didn't see that. I saw a 1920s cartoon of a big-lipped black dude, like racist as fuck, hanging out on a tree next to a bunch of branches where the leaves had turned into corpses and were hanging off it. And they were basically telling me, chill the fuck out. It was the craziest fucking thing ever. Like, and that's the only way I know to explain it. Like, I'm not trying to be a racist douchebag or anything. It's like, do you remember the old Looney Tunes cartoons where the black dude was this over accentuated, big lips?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's what I saw. I can't explain it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was shoved back in my chair and I'm watching this.
Viking, you and your racist trips.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. No, I know.
Why did you do that?
The South will rise again. I don't know what to tell you.
So you can't control what you see.
But it was like right there. I'm shoved.
Why do you think it presented like that?
I have no fucking clue.
He's racist.
Because the first time I did it, it was all like a Simpsons cartoon. You know what I mean? Like everything was just bright colored, geometric shapes, like just wild dancing. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was. The second time I did it, I think it was whatever people I was communicating with were like, yo, this is the hard message.
It was like to get your attention.
Yeah. Like this is, and the difference was between when I did it the first time and when I did it the second time, I was with somebody. I was escorting them in their DMT trip too. We were both doing it. And I think they were telling me like, yo, this isn't for, I think the second time they were telling me, this isn't for you. This isn't a party drug. This isn't, let's get a group together, do some DMT and have a great time. This is a
show you something.
This is an individual thing.
Tell you something, right?
Yeah. You don't need to be with somebody else. We're going to tell you what you need to know. We can't tell you what you need to know with somebody next to you. And I was like, all right, cool. So the next time I did it, I finished off the container I had and I loaded this joint up with DMT, right? Like fucking, it was mostly DMT, a little bit of weed.
I can see his face.
Yeah. And
y'all was feeling it a little bit right now. Like your mind, like,
I hit it.
As soon as if you smoke DMT and someone says DMT, you can instantly smell and taste it.
Yeah. I hit it.
It's wild.
And my eyes shut and I went back. And it was a whole... The easiest way I can describe it is 2001: A Space Odyssey, where my man goes through the wormhole. And it's like, what are you doing, Dave? Like that style shit. And it was, this is a 2-part thing because I did that and I didn't get it. I came out of it and I didn't get it. I'm like, I don't know what that was trying to tell me. So the next day was the day I mixed up the 11 grams of shrooms with the orange juice and shocked that down.
He was on one.
Shocked that down. Sat down in my backyard. I made a fire in the fire pit out of this old red maple that I had cut down from the center of my yard. And I took the heart of it, the trunk of it, and set it in the fireplace and set it on fire. And I sat there and I watched it. And I watched everything burn. And up until that weekend, my belief had always been that DMT, psilocybin was a gateway to another dimension, to what we're going to be after we die, right? And I sat down and I started to trip fucking hard. And two things came out of it. The first thing was the psilocybin and the DMT, when I think back on it, didn't touch anything in my backyard that was man-made. It didn't manipulate my house. It didn't manipulate my deck. It didn't manipulate my dogs that were running around the backyard. It only manipulated what was natural in the backyard, right? So I remember looking over, and there were 2 racquetballs in my yard that the dogs play with, and they were just sitting in the yard. The grass and the ground around it was moving, was playing with the 2 racquetballs. It was like moving them back and forth.
Were your dogs around too, and it didn't fuck with them?
Yeah, my dogs were sitting right next to me, and they were running around. They were playing. The trees were talking to me, and like not verbally, but just
I've had that with like just on you, like almost patting you,
just in tune. The breathing. You know, at one point, like I said, a tree turned into a big green dragon, and then I looked away for a second. I looked back, and there was a bunch of little dudes flipping me off. I'm like, all right, fuck you too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just.
It's like the sensitive part of it, like the trees now. So like, are you getting aggressive with me?
Were they little racist dudes?
You tell me to
was it just
like,
what kind of dudes was it?
Yeah, it was a tree full of Hitlers. It was wow, no, they were just. It was just like nondescript dudes flipped me off. But what I came away with from that, the big thing was I looked down at the fire, and nothing reacted in the fire pit, which was made out of bricks, man-made bricks.
Yeah.
But the actual heart of the red maple itself spoke to me, and as it was on fire, and I can't tell. It was no words, but what it basically said was, when you're not doing these things, your brain puts in filters to prevent you from seeing the actual world, right?
When you're not doing these
when you're not doing psychedelics, like right now, we have like multiple filters that our brain instills in front of our eyes. But when we do the psychedelics, it takes away all of that, and we see the world for what it actually is.
The psychedelics make us more sensitive.
Yeah,
I think they make us more. I'm not. The way I did that was make us more like very in tuned and like,
But that's the thing. It strips.
It makes us happier.
But there is other dimensions.
Of what, the mushrooms?
No, just in general.
But so there may be, but I think they run concurrent with ours.
Okay, yeah. But what I was gonna say is, but that doesn't discount the fact that we don't fully appreciate this one.
No, we don't.
Exactly.
We don't.
That's what I'm saying. And when filters are removed, we see more of this one. It becomes more awesome and amazing. But I'm just kidding. I don't know. Like, no one can tell you if there's other fucking dimensions unless they.
No, I do agree with you. There are other dimensions, but I don't think that when we die, I don't think we're going to go to them. You know what I mean? I think they run concurrent with us. So it's like your next door neighbor. Like, if you die, you're not going to become your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
But he's living his life concurrent with yours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fifth dimension is running concurrent to our dimension, but that doesn't mean you're going to go over there when you die. You know what I mean? I'm just meaning like there's no like afterlife or anything like that. Like you're not going to. And for the longest time, I was on that whole like Valhalla trip. You know what I mean? Like there's an afterlife.
I'm crossing the bridge and going to the Great Hall.
Dude, I hope so too. I got a whole bunch of dead dogs waiting for me on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge. Like they'd be real disappointed if I didn't show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's that? All right, Kale, got to go.
Hey, I love you.
Say goodbyes, brother. Thank you for coming.
I love you, bro, so much. I love you so much, man.
Love you, brother.
Real shit.
It was good. It's always good hanging out. We did our thing earlier, and now then we did this thing, and now you.
Yeah. I love you, brothers. You know what's up.
And if anybody is looking for good martial arts training in the greater Boston area, Sandoff Fighting Arts.
SandoffFightingArts.com.
Yep.
Coach Ty Tonkin.
Instagram.
If you need the
Instagram
3.0.
No. Don't shout nothing out except your shit.
With just power and precision.
Instagram at Coach Ty Tonkin. TYETONKIN.
And his meme page.
And if you don't know how to sell coach, then you're not ready for a coach.
That's your first test.
That's your first test.
Brothers, what you guys
All right.
I'm wondering in my mind, what are those mushrooms you're talking about with the red dots on them?
Amanita muscaria.
That's a different world. Yeah, that's different than it's
That's the berserker shit.
with that. Kale turns the mic away, and on that we'll set him off. We'll send you off. Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow, brother.
Love you, brother.
I love you, man. Okay. Good seeing you, bro. So fuck yeah, man. So we talked about the podcast.
Listen, I want to get back into the psychedelics because I fucking love this shit.
Okay.
This is my jam.
But I also want to talk to you. Just remind me that I want to talk to you a little bit about the transition from competitive strongman training and competition to jiu-jitsu. So let's talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two things.
Yeah, but
Let's finish the psychedelics.
Yeah.
Well, not finish, but continue with the psychedelics.
Yeah, so
It's never finished.
Never, ever. I don't know if I've ever gotten full launch on DMT.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I haven't broke through. I was down the wormhole and I saw the door. Not a real door, but like
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's a feeling.
And I was too scared to take another rip because I didn't want to lose where I was because I was so stoked to be even, on that plate in that place.
Sure.
So I didn't want to break out of it.
No, yeah.
But then I got a real,
Yeah, no, that's how I felt when I got like shoved back in my chair. I was like,
here we go.
oh, I may be a cunt hair away from fucking full launch, but I can't move. Like I'm just, I'm shoved the fuck back. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
DMT is a tricky one, man. I feel like I wish I knew somebody locally that was more experienced with it because I feel like there's an art form to even doing it right.
yeah,
Like it's not like mushrooms where you just eat a bunch,
Right.
And you measure it out and figure out the dosage you need to eat. You know,
or
what I
don't
mean?
measure it out and just eat a whole shit ton.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, but DMT, there's a little more to actually launching with it, and I think there's a lot of bullshit out there. Like if you try and read stuff online, and people are like, "Oh, we're gonna launch it, did this and that." I'm like, no, you didn't, dude. Like, I can already tell. Like, you're fucking lying. You know what I mean? Like, there's no glory in it. Like if you didn't like. Me and Dan have done DMT multiple times and like literally only kind of sort of launched probably once or twice. You know what I mean? The other times it was awesome.
Yeah.
You see like a lot of colors and geometric patterns.
Yeah.
And like have a warm feeling, like feel like you're in the womb almost. That type of stuff, and it goes away. But like launching down the fucking wormhole and breaking through into like wherever, I'm trying to do it.
I don't know if it exists.
People have said it, like credible people too, you know what I mean? And not so credible, but
it's the one thing I've come away with psychedelics is it's such a unique experience from person to person. You know what I mean? Like,
and from trip to trip.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. I feel like after I did DMT, when I did mushrooms next, my mushroom trip felt more DMT-ish. Like something got unlocked. And I feel like there was a little more of a DMT type vibe to the mushroom trip. I don't know how to explain it, like, because all this stuff is very hard to articulate, you know what I mean? But it was just the feeling and maybe some of the visual aspects of things felt more.
So I have the benefit of doing them back to back, high doses of both.
Okay.
Because I did the 5 grams of DMT Friday night. And then I got done with work Saturday, and I got home at 1 p.m. Saturday. I did 11 grams mixed with.
How long did the 11-gram trip last?
2 hours.
That was it.
It was crazy, man. Because
that was short.
Yeah, I was really surprised, but it instilled in me further that psychedelics are only going to take you as far as you need to go.
Yeah.
To learn what you need to learn.
What kind of mushroom? What strain?
No clue.
Okay.
I got them from my homie. They weren't PEs or APEs. They weren't B+ or Golden Teacher.
There's so many. Yeah.
Yeah. So they weren't the big four. They weren't B+. They weren't Golden Teacher. They weren't Penis Envy. They weren't albino Penis Envy. Okay. Like I know those four on site. But man, they were good.
Well, 11 grams of any of them are going to fucking be good.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
So they were good. But it was, I agree. It's after doing the DMT and kind of giving me God, this sounds so hippy dippy, but like give me that psychedelic roadmap going into the 11 grams, that shaman dose. But, we talked about this earlier. You have to respect the big thing with psychedelics, and I think where people fuck up is they don't respect what they're doing here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they
100%. I can attest to it.
They look at it like, oh, this is something cool to do. It's like, no. You have to sit there and you have to look. And you have to look back on what these things were. And for the 12,000 years...
It's not a recreational thing.
No, it's what every religion was based on. Organized religion, I don't know who said it. Organized religion is a bunch of sober assholes trying to reproduce one guy's great psychedelic trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. It's a bunch of fucking prudes.
There's books on it, like how religion evolved from mushrooms, basically.
John Marco Allegro.
Yeah.
The Mushroom and the Holy Cross.
Yeah.
If you have not read that book,
read it.
And you are interested in psychedelics, go read that fucking book. It is amazing. But the DMT, because it's so short, gave me a better roadmap to really explore the psilocybin trip. You know what I mean? Like, because you only have 10 to 15 minutes to. And what's wild about the DMT trip is, to anybody who hasn't done it, it's not like mushrooms where it slowly wears off. It's like snap your fingers, it's done.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm tripping hard. Oh fuck, rent's due tomorrow. Like you're just fucking
and scene.
Yeah, you're just plop back in reality. Yeah. So I think I agree with you. The DMT helped me be more in tune with what I was seeing with the mushrooms and helping me get more out of it.
Yeah.
I really, it's, I can't say enough about it. I think it's fucking amazing. And I really wish more people did it because.
Yeah. And with that said, do your fucking research. Just don't jump into it and go buy a bag of mushrooms and fucking grab it. Well, do that, but be a little smart about things. And
you can always take more. Remember, that's a big thing. You can always take more. Once you've eaten them, you can't take less.
Yeah.
Once you've eaten what you've eaten, or once you've ingested, you've bought the ticket.
Yeah, you have to take the ride. Yeah, the ride's coming. Whether you want to or not.
You can take more. You cannot take less.
Yep.
So start off light. Like I didn't start off at 18 years old doing 11 fucking grams.
No, and if you're under 23, be careful with all this shit anyway, because like it or not, your brain is not fully developed.
Yeah.
So just be fucking careful. And if you have things, if you have schizophrenia or like heavy, severe mental illnesses, stay away from this stuff, and or do it under a very guided process with somebody there. Like
if you have schizophrenia or what's it called? I have such a big fucking issue with it too.
I know the multiple personality
or borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
If any of those are in your family, consult with a psychiatrist. And then if you're still intent on doing it,
on it, yeah,
microdose. Start with a microdose.
Yep.
And if you start to feel fucking wonky, do not continue it.
And if you are feeling compelled to do a full trip dose, make sure you have some kind of guidance or some qualified person there with you under some controlled situation. Don't go to a fucking concert and do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No. Someone who's experienced psychedelics should trip sit you.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're my level, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I know my limits and I know I don't need a trip sitter.
Yeah.
I can sit there and do 11 grams, no problem by myself and get what I want out of it. But start off slow, and see if it helps you. And have the wherewithal to realize, oh, this isn't helping me, don't continue it.
Don't.
Because it has nothing to show you. If you're not getting anything out of it from the first dose, it has nothing to show you. Because no matter what level of dose I've done, I've always gotten something out of it, whether it's been 1 gram, half a gram, or 11 grams. I've gotten something out of it. If you do 1.5 grams and get nothing out of it, stop. You don't need it. It's not for you. It's going to tell you what you need to know. That's the great thing about it.
Yeah, it's true.
If it doesn't tell you anything, then you don't need it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Because my first trip told me a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Insane amount, like life-changing, altering fucking thing where I'm like, everybody in the world should do this. But
yeah.
With the caveat that, no, not everyone should do it.
Yep, yep.
But, you know what I mean? Like, I was so excited. Like, I'm like, I can't believe this fucking exists. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the things that were shown were so fucking great. Like, I don't even like talking about it because I feel like it downplays. There's no words to accurately describe the experience. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
like looking at a picture.
Yeah.
Of a mountain, but being at that mountain in person. The picture is great, but it doesn't really show you.
It's the 12 blind men describing the elephant.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you haven't been there, I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you with 100% certainty, if you do it and you don't get anything out of it, do not continue to do it.
Yeah.
Because they're telling you that this is not the road you need to go down for your fix. There's another road you need to go down. You know what I mean? It's wild because it's a very intuitive drug. Yeah. It's a very intuitive thing. And I think that's why.
And they might be you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your brain and your consciousness, there's more to it than we know.
Yeah.
And it might be your subconscious self saying, you're not ready or this ain't for you. Like let's go into protection mode. I'm not showing you shit because I don't want you to want to do this again. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. I don't think it's a protection mode though. I think the nice thing about these is it strips away all those protection modes. It strips away all those filters, and it's like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And if you don't get anything out of it, well, then I can't show you anymore because I've taken everything away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've stripped it all away. And you're just like, okay. And it's like, all right, well, then this isn't going to fix you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I've showed you the wonders of the world, and you're still like, meh. It's like, okay, well then, you know what? Why don't you go talk to a therapist?
Yeah.
Or maybe you should be on Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. I tell people with the podcast too is like, not everybody needs therapy. You know, I think that this new woke day and age, you know what I mean? You see everywhere now that people are like, oh, I've been to therapy and this, that, and the third. It's like,
some motherfuckers just need a motorcycle.
Right. Yo, some people just need to just fucking
get out in the road,
unwind a minute. You know what I mean? Not everybody needs therapy. Just because it's the cool hip thing to do, or just because they're removing the stigma of it, still doesn't mean everybody needs to do it. You know, you may not need to go talk to somebody. You may just need to get away for a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to keep in mind that no matter what you do, whether it be psychedelics or psychiatry or a motorcycle trip, if at the end of it you sit down and you go, I didn't get anything out of that, well, don't continue to do it.
No.
Don't force it. Nobody's ever gotten anything out of forcing it, except maybe a rape charge.
Yeah. And see, it doesn't take away your humor.
But that's the thing. Like you have to have the wherewithal. It's like, okay, is this working for me? And that was one of the things I was taught. One of the things that was instilled in me through powerlifting and strongman is, you know, you can try all the newest fads of working out and shit.
And there will always be new shit, and there's always going to be some new motherfucker online saying, this is what you're going to do for maximum gains or maximum strength or explosive this or fucking blah, blah, blah.
But guess what? Each one of us is a unique individual.
Yep.
It's not always going to work. So you got to keep the 10 to 25% that works for you and throw out the rest.
Yeah.
And you have to have the mental strength to realize, okay, this isn't all working for me. Let's throw it out and let's go back to the drawing board. You have to go back to the drawing board every time, because there's no growth without renewed introspection.
Introspection.
I think that's a word, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck it. We'll go with it. You have to take a mental checklist and be like, is this working?
Yeah.
And honestly, is this working?
Honestly, is it working? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just feeding the ego.
Yeah. Or feeding the ego of the person that's telling you, or just buying into that cult of personality.
Yeah.
You have to be like, yo, is this working for me?
Because on Instagram, there's fucking 400,000 fucking trainers now.
And 399.999% of them are full of fucking shit.
Yeah.
They're garbage people. They just want the dollar. They want the followers. They don't give a flying fuck about how well you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want to learn how well you should do, you should follow me on Instagram.
And for only $49.99, fucking, yeah. No. Yeah. No, but it's true, man. Like, genetically, people are different.
Yeah.
And some things are gonna work better for some people, and because it works better for them, that doesn't mean that it's gonna work better for you.
Right.
And their method might not be the method that works for you. So there's other things you got to try.
And that's the same way with
I'm learning this lesson right now, and I'm being a little humble pie here. Like, I'm 50, right? And
you don't look a day over 47.
Yeah, 49, right? But what I mean is, like, at the gym, like, I'm still trying to go hard. And my body's like, fuck you, dude. Like, my shoulders like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Now I can feel it in my knees like, fuck you. And guess what? I've been going lighter and doing more reps and stuff. And I've been feeling great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, this is what I got to do for at least for a little while. Like, I can't do, like, I'm not going to do, like, fucking max fucking shit right now. Like, you know what I mean? But the ego is hard to keep in check because you're at the gym and you're like, fuck this, I can do more. And I'm not looking at other people. I'm, like, talking with my own internal struggles. Like, I can do more. Why ain't I fucking doing more? Blah, blah, blah. Fuck this. Like, you know what I mean? And that's when I can't move my shoulder at all the fucking next day. And I can't, it's hard to ride a motorcycle or move a motorcycle around. And that's what I got to do all fucking day. You know what I mean? And then if I go lighter, more reps, the pump is actually more intense. And especially if I go slow or stall or do the different techniques and tricks. And I'm like, and I was like, guess what? I can move a little bit better.
Yeah.
Fuck, why am I not doing this more?
And you're still satisfied.
Yeah,
you're still
absolutely.
you're like you still have that satisfaction of physical work done.
Yeah.
And that's
you can't underrate that either. Like, human beings, for whatever reason, like, you have to get some physical shit done to feel good. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm sure not everybody has to, but
no, everybody has to. That is. I will. This is a hill.
Science.
This is a hill I will die on. Okay. We are not built to sit in front of computers all fucking day.
No, absolutely. I mean, we might evolve into that, but right now at this stage, I hope not. No, but I'm saying at this stage,
look like those fat fucks from WALL-E.
Yeah,
where they're all fucking floating around on a cruise ship in the middle of outer space with no fucking knees.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a reason, you get the runner high, you get the exercise high. It's the body releasing endorphins saying, hey, this is good.
Yeah.
You should be physically
do some more of this. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I mean, yeah, but you have to be smart. You have to think about stuff. That we've become this society of people where we just want other people to think for us. And that's where the influencers come from. That's where the personal trainers come from. The motivation coaches
Tell
come
me
from.
what to do.
Yeah, because I can't think for myself. And it's like, oh, I've been on this. I can't tell you how many times when I was doing strongman, guys would come up to me and be like, I've been on this program for fucking 3 months and I'm not making any gains and I'm always injured. It's like,
it's not the one for you, bud.
Well, why are you still doing it? It's like, well, because this guy has this and that and this other accolade. And it's like, okay, is he you? No. All right. Well, guess what? That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I've been paying this guy $50 a fucking month. Okay, cool.
It works. Just because it worked for him doesn't mean it works for you.
The more money you give him doesn't mean it's going to work for you better. Like,
I just need to get 3 months in and then it's going to magically work.
Yeah, right? No, you're going to fucking dislocate your shoulder. Stop it.
Yeah.
I have the same thing with the competitive jiu-jitsu now. It's like,
so let me ask you this, though, before you get into that.
Sure.
Like, I knew you originally, you were an active strongman competitor. And then you've transitioned to jiu-jitsu. Does that also have to do with the change in your mindset? Or is it that just kind of happened? Because, jiu-jitsu is also like kind of a mental.
Yeah.
I'm sure it all is. It all is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like what kind of, did that just kind of happen to coincide at the same time? Or do you think that happened to go with also the shift in your whole mindset?
No, the impetus came from my daughter. As she got older and became more active, she'd want to play and run around. And it's really hard to tell a 2-year-old, Daddy wants to play with you, but he has to warm up for 45 minutes so he doesn't tear a hammy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Daddy has to get in a hot shower for 30 minutes so he can loosen everything up because he had max effort squats the day before. Mm. And then
Daddy can't move right now.
Right. Yeah. And then COVID came through and shut everything down. So gyms weren't really available. So I was doing workouts at home. But you can't do max. You can't move the weight I had to move for competition at home. Nobody just has a fucking dump truck to pull. You know what I mean? Or 400-pound stone balls to throw up. You know what I mean? So it's like,
unless you're independently wealthy and this is your full-time job,
right.
then you might have those things.
And then you know what? You don't have to worry about going to work. So COVID's not really going to affect you. But
yeah, exactly.
So a couple of my coworkers were like, hey, we do jiu-jitsu, and we heard you used to cage fight before you did strongman. Would you be interested in coming back? And I'm like, well, fuck it. The gyms are closed. I'm going stir crazy because I can't get any physical activity outside of like walking the dogs or, you know what I mean? Like there's no gym to go to. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll do jiu-jitsu. And then I started back with them, and it gave me the feeling, the excitement I had when I first started strongman. You know what I mean? It gave me this, I'm like, oh, this is what a hobby should feel like. It shouldn't feel like work. It should be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. And then as I did more jiu-jitsu, I'm like, I don't want to go lift up giant heavy stone balls. I don't want to go pull dump trucks. I want to choke out my friends. You know what I mean? Like I want to go do this. And then on top of that, my conditioning was getting better. My flexibility was getting better. My ability to interact with my kid was getting better. You know what I mean? It's like, I wasn't going like, oh no, sit down on the couch with Daddy and we'll watch a movie. It was like, hey, let's play hide and seek. And she'd be like, hey, let's play hide and seek. Yeah, let's go. Run around the backyard. Let's go to the playground. Let's go do stuff. Yeah, cool. So the shift was coming back to jiu-jitsu after strongman. It helped that I had a background in jiu-jitsu from when I was younger, before going into strongman.
Okay, so you did do jiu-jitsu.
So I went and started out in powerlifting. And then when I was bouncing, one of the guys in the bar I was bouncing at started a cage fighting promotion. And he said, hey, you should come up with this cage fighting promotion. And I was like, okay. I said, I have no training. He goes, well, we do jiu-jitsu at the Schenectady Boxing League. I was like, fuck it, I'll try that. So I went down and started doing jiu-jitsu and fell in love with it. And then I got into Muay Thai. And then I got into cage fighting. And then I won a cage match. And then I broke my foot. I broke 3 toes on my left foot training for a Muay Thai smoker. And anybody who's broken toes, there's
nothing you can do.
They give you Percocets and crutches. They're like, good luck.
Tape them together.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like they can't give you a boot because it's your fucking toes.
Yeah.
So I went home and I had gone from training 3 times a day, 6 days a week to nothing. I'm laying in my fucking bed because my foot's the size of a football and my toes fucking hurt. We should put a sheet on it. And my wife at the time goes, if you don't get the fuck out of this house, I'm divorcing you. Joke's on me. She divorced me anyway. But I went and got out of the house and I went back to the gym where I'd done powerlifting and just started benching because it was the only thing I could do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Upper body. Feet. Yeah, can't do a goddamn thing. And after 3-4 months of working out heavy again, as my foot healed, the gym I was lifting at said, hey, we're doing a gym-only strongman event. And I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. Went and won it. And then that started me on the fucking the strongman path. And I did that for 10 years. And I went all around the country. I went over to Iceland and competed against Hafthor Bjornsson the Mountain. And Iceland's strongest man, I think 23 15, and just had a blast doing it. But, you know, everything has its time and place. And as I got older, you know, the body's not as resilient.
Is there a, I know there's always going to be anomalies, but what is the prime time for a strongman like active competition? Like as far as age range?
30 to 33.
Okay. Because you're matured.
You're matured and you're not quite at that downslope of testosterone yet. So like figure 30 to 33, 35.
Yeah.
Around there for normal people. Like Brian Shaw, those dudes, he's still competing at 40, you know what I mean? But those genetic freaks.
Listen, there's always outliers. Yeah.
But for the average person, for the average male, 30 to 35. That's kind of when our testosterone peaks with experience, with healthy muscle growth. You know what I mean? That's kind of that point. And then, of course, you get into like the PEDs and shit too, which are going to help elongate and keep you free from injury. But the big thing is do it as long as you're having fun with it. You know, towards the end, I wasn't having fun anymore. It was like a chore. Yeah. I got to work. And my mind was so neurotic, I'd have to go to the gym. And then when COVID hit and I was doing the jiu-jitsu and gym's back up, I went back to the gym. I'm like, I don't enjoy this anymore.
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I doing it? I already have a day job I don't enjoy. You know what I mean? I don't enjoy paying bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why the fuck would I make my hobby another chore?
More work, yeah.
Right, yeah. I don't need to do that. So that's when I got into jiu-jitsu and I found that winning a strongman competition is cool, but there is no better the drug than making another full-grown human man quit.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than standing over another human being and making them quit, to physically give up. It's like if you have erectile dysfunction, go choke out somebody. I guarantee you'll get a hard on immediately. Like hard enough to fucking dent a car door. It's fucking amazing. It's such a fucking, you've powerlifting strongman, you're beating weight. But in jiu-jitsu and martial arts, you're beating another human being. You're beating a physical manifestation of an opponent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it feeds back into that like conqueror, primal mindset. It just gives you that fucking hit of endorphins and just pure, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just, it gives you that it satisfies that conqueror mindset. You know what I mean? If you ever listen to Mike Tyson's interviews, like you're like, oh, I fucking totally get this. This is fucking addictive.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson so much to the point where he didn't even want to train anymore because he didn't want that person to reemerge.
Yeah, he's like, oh. And then it did. And then Roy Jones, he's like, oh, all right, I guess I'm bringing back the God of War.
Yeah, yeah,
and it's like, oh, fuck. But that's what it is. So yeah, the impetus from switching to strongman to back to jiu-jitsu was my kid, my daughter. I wanted to still be active. I wanted to still have some sort of functional strength, but I wanted to be able to interact with my daughter. And then what's really cool is that now she does jiu-jitsu with me 2 times a week.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, she's 4 years old, and she's not, she's 4 years old. She's not going to go win a national title anytime soon, but getting her used to that dynamic, getting her comfortable coming into a gym, getting her comfortable with someone putting their hands on her and her knowing how to respond without panicking is so key for a little kid.
Especially at that age. Like that's such a heads up, a leg up on things, like no pun intended, but you know
100%.
I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you getting used to that at a young age when you're that young, your brain is a sponge and just absorbing everything.
Yep.
And you learn so much quicker.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, man.
Yeah. And now, especially nowadays, we talk about it so much, how people have gotten soft. It's like, nobody's exposing their 4-year-old kid to physical altercations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't get it twisted. This is not like I'm putting my 4-year-old daughter in fucking Fight Club.
Yeah.
But, when she's 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18, 20. If someone puts their hands on her, she's not going to panic.
She's going to have muscle memory at that point.
She's going to know what to do, and she's going to be able to handle herself. And the biggest thing with women when they get attacked is they panic. And the mind's not thinking clearly when you panic. You know what I mean? Like
anybody untrained, men or women are going to panic. Yeah,
but it's especially
sure. Yeah,
it's. I'm going to be sexist for a minute. It's especially important for women.
Sure, because
men have that underlying drive, that underlying alpha maleness. You know what I mean? That underlying fight or flight where it's going to go to fight. You know what I mean? Where women have this kind of like flight mentality, but when they panic, they freeze up. You know, like kind of like deer in a headlight thing. I don't want my kid to have that. I don't want my daughter to have that. When she's a full-grown woman, if someone comes up behind her and grabs her, I want her to know what to do, not panic. Calm, cool, collected, get the fuck away, create space. Or if they give you an opportunity, break their fucking arm, break their fucking leg, break their fucking neck. You know, I want to see her in court. I don't want to see her in a fucking graveyard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
or a hospital.
Or a hospital. But my daughter's not going to be a fucking victim. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that motivates me to keep training jiu-jitsu is because I can do it alongside of her. And as I grow and she grows in the sport, we can feed off each other. You know what I mean? It's a bonding experience. And, you know, the one thing I also keep in the back of my head is I'm not going to live vicariously through her either. No. I'm not going to force her to keep doing it, but she's going to know how to defend herself. She's going to know how to make her way in the world where physical aggression is a threat, and she's going to know how to handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was, having a daughter changed my mindset a lot.
Yeah.
You know, in many ways.
Sure,
because it shifted me from drama and jiu-jitsu. It was the impetus for me to go seek mental health. You know what I mean? Like having my kid and having it be a little girl was life altering. Like I'd probably still be a raging maniac asshole if I didn't have a fucking daughter. Yeah. Like if I had a son, fuck. But, you know, the All-Father granted me a little girl and, you know, put me in charge of this precious, beautiful little thing. And it's like, okay, now my perspective is completely shifted. Yeah. I have to make sure this pure, innocent little being is ready for this cold, cruel world. Yeah. And I'm going to equip her with every fucking tool I can.
Yeah.
And when all the tools fail, Daddy's going to be there with a fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, that was the impetus from changing from strongman to jiu-jitsu. Like, I can be the strongest dad in the world, but having a big bench isn't going to protect her from a fucking sexual assault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, it may be a morbid way to look at it, but I'm also a realist.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you're not going to drag her to the gym to do strongman stuff with you versus
no. And you know what? I'm never going to drag her anywhere.
No, I don't mean drag.
No. I know exactly what you mean, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm forcing her to do something she doesn't want to do.
She's probably still having fun with it, right?
Oh, she's having a blast. Yeah. She has a blast every fucking time. She doesn't learn a goddamn bit of jiu-jitsu. But she's having a great time not learning. You know what I mean?
Rolling around on the mat.
That's it. She's 4. I have no unreasonable expectations. She takes a swim class and flops around in a pool for a half hour. She does gymnastics and rolls around on a mat for a half. Like, she's 4. Like, she's not. She's not Simone fucking Biles here. She's a 4-year-old. She's gonna have fun, and that's what I expect. But she's learning that dynamic. Yeah, and that's what's going to set her up for success later in life.
And the dynamic, and also just getting used to the environment and accustomed to it, so that, you know, down the road, if she chooses to pursue it, she's already kind of
right.
There's no weirdness. She's like already used to being in that.
Yeah, she doesn't have to start off from zero. She can start off from a little bit better than that.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, hell yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
That's it, man. The whole change in my life was having a kid.
Yeah,
and it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
I thought it was cool because I remember like early pictures of your kid who was all smiles, and this is before you were. This is when you were still maybe not where you are now.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, look how happy your kid is. Like fucking, it was awesome. You know what I mean? It was like, how'd that come out of you, bro? Like, not come out of you, but how did you make that? You know what I mean?
I did, and my wife did.
Yeah. No, I know. But part of you's in that. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm so happy. You know, it's the fulfillment I've gotten from creating a family has really just, it's made me better in every way. And I really, you know, to have something out there that holds me accountable outside of my own brain, it was the thing I needed to be the better person than I am today. You know what I mean? And I'm not perfect. Nobody is, but I'm working towards it. So
fuck yeah, man.
I don't know. It's fucking
almost 4 in the morning.
Almost 4 in the fucking morning.
Yeah. Well, this is a good fucking time to fucking give a shout out to the podcast again, and so people can find you. And you know, like, is there any social medias and stuff where if people want more information or find out more, can go?
Yeah, it's so it's the Beautiful Barbarians podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Amazon Podcast.
Anywhere you get podcasts.
Anywhere you get podcasts. I'm on Instagram as All Hail the Viking, and then Beautiful Barbarians podcast and on Instagram as well. And yeah, it's I don't know if you have any questions or any concerns, or if anybody out there, I end the podcast every time this way. If anybody is out there going through some shit and you feel like you have nowhere to turn to, no one to talk to, you can message me on Instagram. You can message the podcast on Instagram. We'll get back to you. We'll talk to you. We'll talk you down. We'll talk you up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
point you in the right direction to get some.
We're always there. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you're going through, you're not going through it alone.
Or if you got an inspirational story to tell, hit you up so you can come on and help others by going through, showing people your process and things that.
Absolutely. But, you know, again,
I'm sure there's some motherfuckers in the biker world that have been through some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be good to talk to you guys.
Absolutely. Just, you know, the big thing is just remember, you're not going through what you're going through alone. You may think you're isolated, but there's thousands of other people going through the exact same thing you're going through. You don't need to sit there and be isolated at all. There's hundreds and thousands of other men going through the exact same thing you're going through, and you can go through it with other people. You don't have to sit there and feel like you're alone and you're this isolated fucking island. We've all gone through this shit, and 9 times out of 10, we're if you reach out, people will give you solutions, or just a fucking ear to listen or a shoulder to fucking cry on. Yeah, there's no shame in it. There's no shame in asking for help. So
100%, man.
I love you, brother. Thank you so much for having me.
100%. Let's put this here.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all, listen up. CarShield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that covers more parts than ever. Visit carshield.com/audio to find out how you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Get your free quote today at carshield.com/audio. That's carshield.com/audio.